Peace and much love, flat power to everybody. Shout out to the chat room. Salutes to all the channel members, Patreons, and moderators. We got some fire for y'all today. Teaming up with my brother Vinny. I'm not gonna keep him waiting. He don't need an introduction. He's a legend. And we're gonna be having a lot of good stuff in 2026 coming up, but I ain't gonna blabber on about it. We'll show you about that. But Vinny here today to talk about the 24-hour sun. And this is a topic that a lot of people think, we're kind of running from. I don't personally think it debunks the ground measurements with sky observations, and we know where I stand. But there are several people that have explanations for a 24-hour sun on the flat earth model. It may not necessarily be the AE map model, but the flat earth model. So I'm gonna let my brother Vinny come through with his today, and shout out to also to Lindsey Harris and his model and his explanation as well. I had him on to explain it, and the point of me bringing him up is just to say there are several people who are flat earthers who have reasonable explanations for the 24-hour sun that I think make more sense than the globe's explanation. So we're here to hear Vinny's today. And I'm gonna turn it right over to Vinny. Appreciate your time and research, brother.
Yeah, man, great to be back. It's been a while since I've been on here. I got lots of love and respect for you. And yeah, it's good to be back. And for the people that might not know me so much or heard me before on here, um, I actually have been someone for years. Like I didn't jump in this like after Jaren goes down there, and then all of a sudden, people saying there's a 24-hour sun. Then everybody was kind of scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, for years, was telling people, and Sanchez is one of the people who knows. But I mean, I told Dave Weiss, I told Eric Dubay, this is actually something that I said for years. I thought that they were going to at some point try to clown flat Earth by using the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And it's why a long time ago, I've been a flat earther since 2012. And for the first 4 years, I just went with the circle dish. That's what everybody was talking about, and it made sense. And then I started to look into some problems possibly. One big one being a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And I ended up getting in touch with this guy named Roman who wrote a book called Square Earth Cosmology. And that's who I've been working with. He basically stopped doing videos about 7 years ago. But if anybody wants, he's on YouTube called Free Energy with an A because he's all about the ether also. His whole book was about a square earth cosmology and how they're hiding the ether. So those are his two big things. And, I don't want to steal credit from him. He's actually the one who helped me grasp this idea and start looking into it. And then the fact that he doesn't do shows for the past 7 years. I mean, we talk in emails. I keep trying to get him, especially would love for him to come on your show one day. He's working on his second book, and hopefully one day I will get him. But since he's not, I've kind of for years trying to be the guy to speak up for this model. And yeah, like you were saying, a 24-hour sun, a sky observation, that does not change the fact of we're not on a floating water ball. Um, all it all that does is show that the circle dish doesn't work, and it's something I've actually been open to and looking into for many years. So it didn't matter to me, but I knew that they were going to use this event. And then you got Jaren now turning into a baller, which is like doesn't make any sense. Like you said, you see a sky observation, so now what? Now you think the oceans are curved? You think we're flying, 67,000 miles per hour spinning and all this stuff. Like you didn't discredit the flat earth. You just discredited the model that you've been using. Because if there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which I do believe in, um, then you can't have a circle dish. It wouldn't work. there's also some other problems with it, with the way it arcs. Jaren, and even with it, they said that the sun looks like it's circling around a southern pole, which you wouldn't have on a circle dish. Um, Let me just start out by saying in our square Earth model, we don't believe there are any poles. It's just, part of the ball lie and what they're trying to explain. Like, how do they explain the 24-hour sun on a ball? They got to come up with the tilts and this and that, and talk about these two poles. But the square Earth, we don't believe that there are poles. The appearance that it's getting is that we all know that light curves, sight curves. So we believe the actual thing, instead of a pole on a ball, that there's actually foundations, like the Bible and older cultures would talk about corners, and that the light is actually pulling towards the foundations. So it appears like it's coming from the south when you're in the south, because it's closer to that foundation. Um, and I have two videos on my channel if people later want to check out. One called "The U.S. Army Training Video Proves the Shape of the Earth," which I'd like to get into in a second, and the other one
Yeah.
called "The Book of Enoch Model." So that's another big thing is we, Roman and myself, a lot of this we're getting from the Book of Enoch. Uh, for people who know the Book of Enoch, which I'm sure probably most of your audience knows, and I know you do, he has a book called The Luminaries. And in that, it's literally talking about how the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything works. And it's talking about portals in the east and the west. So our model, we get a lot into the Book of Enoch and trying to explain how these are going through portals. It's more supernatural. And I think that's why it was hard. I remember Eric Dubay was kind of like, he didn't know how to, he was like, it's just, it's confusing. I know Dave and some people, they've told me like, I think it's more supernatural and it's harder. It's like we're in a 3D realm, but I'm trying to explain something 4D. And it's like
Right.
it might be too hard for most people, but I believe you and your audience is probably, a lot of you guys smarter than me and could figure this stuff out.
The thing about Enoch and the portals is interesting because, like, during an eclipse, you have these luminaries completely disappear, go away, and then the
Hmm.
next day they right back, and we got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that reminds me of so one of the light bulb moments I had one day was, you go to work every day at that same time, right? Let's say you get up at 6 a.m. every morning or whatever, and you're driving to work, you're on the same path, whatever, going west, east, whatever it is, and you're used to seeing the sun or whatever. And the thing that got me the most was actually the moon. And I like to bring up the old story of the turtle and the hare. The ancients were actually talking about the sun and the moon. The sun goes the constant speed, the same speed, like the turtle, and the rabbit is the moon. And the moon will jump in front of the sun and sometimes fall behind. And sometimes we'll see that, right? We could be looking, and sometimes you'll see the moon in front of the sun, and then later on, a couple weeks later or whatever, you'll see the sun in front and the moon coming out after it. And that's the turtle and the hare. The moon is actually jumping. And what hit me was, if we're on a ball or a circle dish, at some point there would have to be that crossover, right? Where there'd be some type of eclipse, or you would see the moon getting up to the sun, passing it, or falling behind. But we actually don't. And like you said, it's like it just appears. So it was literally in one day I would see these changes where I would see the moon in front of the sun in the northern part of the sky for weeks. And then all of a sudden the next day I'm looking up and it's completely different part of the sky in just one day, like you said, like a dramatic jump. And that was sort of when I was like, oh my God, is this the Book of Enoch where it's got to be going through portals and it's more supernatural than just a 3D model of a ball or a circle dish. Um, and then the other thing is the sun jumps. Uh, we're all going to see it in like a little over a month come March, where, we're used to the sunset and sunrise at a certain time for the past like month or so, right? Where it's dark at like 5 o'clock or whatever, 5:30. All of a sudden, in one day, not slowly, in one day, you're going to see a jump and you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, whoa, like the sun's up like half hour, an hour more, and it's going to set at like 6:30 instead of 5:30. And it happens in one day because I've been following this for years. And there's multiple times during the year. And to me, that's backing up again that it's going through these portals that Enoch was talking about, where it says in the book of Enoch, where it'll be going through a certain portal for, 30 days or 60 days, and then it jumps over to the next portal. And I believe that is what our observation is seeing. And I think that's also why they do the daylight saving here in America to try to throw it off a little, to try to correct this dramatic jump. Because if we're on a ball if there's any ballers out there listening, it's gradual. It has to be gradual. If you believe in a ball, then it's like 1 or 2, minutes a day gradually going. But to have a dramatic jump proves that it's not your model. Your model can't work. So that's another thing to discredit the ball to me.
That's
Um,
it's interesting there that the dramatic jump versus the gradual progression is like a dagger. That's a dagger. Yeah,
it is,
it's a
right?
dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those big ones you got, they need to answer that, and they're not going to have an answer for that. Um, so
And one thing they would say about the portals is that, well, that's supernatural, that's pseudo, but it's not really pseudo or supernatural because they discuss wormholes and portals in science all the time.
great point, man. I'm glad you said that. You're so smart. I mean, that's the thing too. So it just reminded me of another point I wanted to bring up. Another interesting thing that we should point out, especially to the ballers, if you're a baller, you need to explain the Diomede Islands. Okay, Diomede. Okay, the international date line. You guys need to explain this, ballers. How do you have two islands that are literally separated by only 2 miles, 2.5 miles, and there's a 21-hour difference in the sun? Okay. To me, this is big, something that we got
Ooh.
to point out. And it also backs up that it's got to be portals. How could it be? And to me, this is this supernatural thing, like you're saying, where there's like a space loop. And ballers pull up an international time zone thing. It ain't even a straight line, man. What are you guys doing, ballers? You got a line that goes and then it's like a rectangle comes out and then goes down and then it's crooked. Like if you're on a ball spinning, it's got to be a straight line, bro. You can't have where the international date line's making these moves. To me, that's clearly you're doing some type of cover up and you're trying to explain away how this thing on the map that should be at the same time is actually hours off. So you if anybody wants, or if you want, you could pull up the international time zone, and it ain't a straight line. So ballers explain, try to explain away that. Um, you would have to admit that the maps are wrong, and and your model doesn't work. Like a ball spinning, the international time zone should be a straight line on that ball, but that's not in reality what they have. So even these people saying that we're on a ball can't answer some of this stuff. And to me, those Diomede Islands, guess what they call them? One is the Tomorrowland, and the other one's called Yesterday Land. And they're only 2.5 miles
Oh.
apart, bro. How
So
can you
you
have 21-hour difference?
so you can have like two birthdays. It's kind of like time traveling. Birthday
Yeah,
here, come over here. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's something I think people need to focus on and look into.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna
eh,
check that out.
yeah, it's sketchy, man. You start listening to that stuff, and to me, I just believe that that's this portal area. So here's another thing too for ballers. Okay, ballers, we talk about all the ancients and everybody talks about East and West. Let's just get into something basic here. Now, if it's just a ball spinning, East and West are directions. They're not geographical locations. So how did everyone, the whole world just said, this is where the sun rises. This is the East. Japan landed the rising sun. And you guys out, in California or whatever, that's where the sun sets, and that's the West. Now, if you're on a ball and there is no East or West, they're just directions.
Yeah.
Because if you're in Asia, you would say the East is California.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in California, you could say, well, West is Asia.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
ain't reality. The
Right.
world says no. That's the East, and there's the West, and the sun rises and sets.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I think this backs up again where it's actually like a square, and East and West are geographical locations that everybody has to accept because it's
Mm-hmm.
reality. So, because I mean, let's talk about like, okay, England was this superpower and they were, making up. Then why wouldn't you say like the sun rises right here in England? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sets over there, or we're the center, but everybody agrees. Land of the rising sun, sun rises here because it actually comes out the portals there
Mm.
and it goes through the Western Gate portal off the coast of California. And that's something I like to focus on too is East and West are geographical locations, not directions, which a ball, that's all it is. How do you spin a basketball and say, where's East and West?
Yeah.
Geographical. It's not,
And
it's just directions.
and this whole conversation here will go into the square being 360 degrees and the sun spinning these degrees that we saying on this square. You can split the square up into 24 triangles, and that'll be the 24 time zones. And when the
Hmm.
sun is going above the square, right, it's spending an hour in each time zone. But the
Yes.
reason that can't work on a globe is because the sun doing a perfect 360 degrees and they got 365.
Mm,
So
good point.
they using 360-degree set suggestible 60 math, but they still saying it's not doing 360 degrees. You know what I'm saying?
You just reminded me another uh, great point I wanted to bring up is the video that I hope people that are interested in this, you go and check out my video called The U.S. Army Training Video Proves the Shape of the Earth. So I'm gonna get
I
into
can
this
pull
real
it up
quick.
too.
So this, the video is like an hour long. The first 20 minutes might be a little slow because it's like overkill. I'm basically showing like the real U.S. Army training video from like I don't know if it was like the 50s or early 60s that this video was made, but it really started in like the 1940s. The U.S. military uses a mapping system. It's called the UTM, Universal uh, Tri uh, Tricada, no, Marcata, Transversion Marcata map, right? So this is basically, if you watch the video, it'll break down. This is literally how the U.S. military maps out the Earth and how, if you're dropping bombs, if you're going to war, if you're traveling. So this is also how GPS works, you'll find out. This is how planes work. They're all based off of a map called the UTM map. And basically, it's square and squares and squares. There's no there's no curved lines, right? So on a ball or a circle dish, the closer to the north, it would have to be thinner, and the further out, it would have to be wider. Or on a ball, same thing, right? So the military and everybody are using literally a square map. Square inside a square is how they map out and do everything. So if everything's based on a square map, and the only map that you could do that has to scale is a square map. There is no baller map or circle dish where there's a scale because you can't, it doesn't work. The only square scale is found on square maps, which to me, I think is again overwhelming evidence that this has to be our reality. If the US military is mapping out our world as squares inside of squares, infinite amount of squares, it's a grid they make up, then we have to say that that's that's reality. Yeah, the UTM grid zones of the world. I saw you had up there. Yeah, or any one of those. Squares inside of squares. So there you go. I mean,
Hmm.
it's all in unison. It's all straight lines. So you can't have that on a ball. That you can't grid out the earth on a ball with squares. You would have to, like I said, towards the equator, let's say if it's a ball, it would be wider, and then the closer to the poles would have to be thinner.
Hmm.
Okay, but that's not what the U.S. military or flights or anybody are doing. They're
Right.
using
Like
square grids.
that's why when we always tell them, like, why is everyone flying with flat maps versus if I'm a pilot on a globe, I would be flying with one of these.
Exactly. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see like the bottom is thicker,
Hmm.
right? And then it gets narrower because that's what it would have to be on a ball. But like you just said, that's not what pilots and the military is using. They're using that UTM map.
Yeah.
So if
It's
people watch
crazy.
that video, the first 20 minutes is showing you a U.S. military training video explain how they use this and how they use this to map out and go to destinations and everything, how they travel. And yeah, that's my supernatural model. And in east and the west, there's endpoints, there's four corners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like Pac-Man. That's another funny thing is Pac-Man. Um, Pac-Man actually symbolizes the sun. Mrs. Pac-Man was a symbolized the moon. You could say those little dots of stars. But everybody who's played Pac-Man, you know how sometimes like you go to the end of the screen and you go pop it, you go out the left portal and then you
Hmm.
pop out on the right.
Yeah.
That's literally what the sun and moon are doing, and they know that. That's what
And
Pac-Man's doing.
yeah. It's called like a screen wrap, a screen warp, or something like that. And that's
Yeah,
facts.
yeah,
And that's the portal technology that see when you talk like this, they will always shoot it down as non-scientific when we're investing a lot of money into create these wormholes. They say it's possible to
yeah,
walk through a wormhole in New York and end up in California, and that's going to be the way people traveling in the far future.
yeah.
So what if that's already? Because I don't think that's not no concept they came up with. I think it's based upon us studying what's already here.
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, like you just said, if Stephen Hawking, some guy in a wheelchair who can't talk, um, says that you could travel through space through wormholes, but yet we point out the Book of Enoch and say, hey, it looks like the sun and moon are going through portals, wormholes. They're going to say that's crazy, like you said. Oh,
Hmm.
you crazy flat earthers. But if some big scientist from, Oxford or Harvard says, oh, wormhole in outer space, they're a genius.
Right,
They're
right.
so smart.
That's crazy.
Great point, man. Yeah.
So a lot of people was saying, well, the 24-hour sun video is just fake, and they was pointing out a lot of compelling arguments to make it like, well, man, ain't no footprints in the snow. Boom, boom, boom. It's fake. So you're saying it don't matter if it's fake or not. It can be explained on the flat Earth model. Where you stand with that?
Yeah. I mean, what you
Yeah.
said, totally agree. Whether it's, you know, those videos are fake, um, trust me, I got that for years. That's why I was kind of excited when they were going down because I thought flat earthers would be like, oh, Vinny wasn't crazy. He was actually right. And then when they came back and said that it was, I thought like people were going to be like, "Hey, Vinny, you said this was true, but shout out to you, Sanchez. You were the only one out of everyone in the flat Earth community that was like, hey, this is what you were warning about.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you for that. But to me, there's a lot of evidence that I had before they went, and still after they go. People could talk about, him vaping and footprints. I mean, you got to understand, there's thousands of scientists that go down there. I just saw when I was getting ready, Sanchez, Will Smith, new documentary from pole to pole,
Mm,
right? And I was like, oh, I want to see real quick. And the first episode is him in the South Pole, right? So right now for us in the North, where it's wintertime, in the South, it's 24-hour sun, and that's when these people are going down there doing stuff. So you would have to say that, Will Smith and his thing just now, he's, part of the lie and lying about what he's seeing. I saw a documentary last year where it was scientists went down there and to drill into a lake and get samples of water, and they're all sleeping in the tents. There's a 24-hour sun. So it would mean that thousands of those people were all in on this lie. Uh, Graham Hancock, yo, and Sanchez, I just hit up Graham Hancock and got in touch with his team. So in the future, I'll probably be able to get him.
mm,
For people who probably seen him on Netflix with the Ancient Apocalypse, he had Keanu Reeves on there and this and that.
mm.
So I hit up his team. So I'm on the waiting list to get that connection. But Graham Hancock, one of his things was proving that these old maps they mapped out Antarctica pre-ice. And he went down there and was like, hey, you guys are saying that these people just what made up this map, that this map isn't real, yet he went down there and was able to prove that it is real. Um, so again, Graham Hancock went down there. Plenty of people go down there. Will Smith there was just there. Um, I know some people that are like in Australia, the southern part, that say they get 20 hours of sunlight they see. And to me that was enough proof to say, well, that can't work on a circle dish. So that's why I've been open-minded for years and looking into this. But I get it, especially us flat Earth community. When you realize, right, when you first realize, like, oh my God, I've been lied to. I thought I was, flying on a water ball. And you should question everything. You should have that, defense up there to be like, I don't believe anything. I
Yeah.
need to have my own proof.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't take it personal, and I'm not, mad at anyone who don't believe. I mean, Jaron is what he is. I didn't like Jaron before he went, but Whitsitt I have more respect for. Um, but yeah, if you guys don't want to believe them or believe the videos, I've tried to post videos in the past showing a 24-hour sun, and people like that's fake, and I'm like, all right, I get it. You don't want to believe that, I can't prove it. I didn't take the video. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not going to argue it. And I
You
understand that people might not believe that they were there or something.
you think it's you think it's a situation, Craig compared it to, do you think the pyramids in Giza are there? Because you never been, right? But ever
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
people been that
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
one of those situations, huh?
yeah. And to me, I think it also backs up, like, for ballers, right? For them to have their ball model, why would they say that the earth tilts? I mean, let's say there isn't a 24-hour sun down there. Then all they have to do is say the earth doesn't tilt,
Yeah.
right? I
They're
mean,
compensating for something.
they have to have
Yeah.
answers for what people are seeing,
Yeah.
because then people would be like, wait, it can't be that because that's not what I'm seeing. If everybody in the South didn't see the stars doing what they say they're doing, people would say, hey, that's not what I'm seeing. It looks like it's circling around the North, not the South. Your model's wrong. But the model did a good job of trying to explain a lot of this stuff the best they can. I give them their credit, to Jesuits and these people. It took them a while, but there's a lot of things the ballers can't answer, which you ballers need to face. And explain this international time zone to me. Explain geographical east and west. Explain to me how on a ball at the equator the stars are going straight, north and south they're curving. On a ball, wherever you're standing, it should be perspective. It should be a straight line. So to me, again, that's another problem for the ball that I've never heard anybody bring up. But there's a lot of issues that the ballers can't explain. So they're not flawless, their model. It's just they answer a lot of questions for the average person. Like, hey, it looks like it's a, oh, that's because it tilted, and that's
Hmm.
a it's a there's a pole there that the sun's circling around.
Yeah.
So
It's not
yeah,
really proven they model is a that we walking on a globe. It's just making predictions, and the predictions happen. So hey, that proves a globe, you know.
exactly. Yeah, well said.
And that's really tricky, man. People don't understand that because they're using all of the flat Earth knowledge to make these predictions, which is crazy.
Yeah, as we just saw, I mean, even to travel, the US military is using a flat square plane. Flight stuff and military, even they say that it's based on a stationary, meaning not moving, stationary flat plane. There is no adjusting the nose for curvature. There's none of that. There's no traveling east and west is different. This is right where we us flat earthers know the ballers will say, well, the air is glued to the earth. How is air glued to the earth by
Yeah.
gravity? To explain why there's no difference going east to west,
Hmm.
unless it's a stationary plane like the military and everybody's using. So
I brought up it was an argument I had with Craig about the atmosphere being synced or locked
yeah,
into the
glued to the
ground
earth.
rotation, but
Yeah.
yet you stand on a porch and clouds pass right by your house,
Yeah.
and they try to have it both ways, you know,
Yeah,
and
you're
say,
right.
well, yeah,
And what about helium? Some of the gases don't stick to the earth. They actually repel and go up into the air, like helium.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then another big point for us flat earthers to discredit their model is gas pressures. It's one of the most basic things in physics. You can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum. The only time you
mm-hmm,
have gas pressure is in an enclosed system. You get a propane tank, right? It's in a tank. That gas is being held in a container, right? It wouldn't work in a vacuum.
right,
So to say that we have gas pressure, but that's when they'll just say, well, they'll just the magic gravity.
yep,
They just repeat this nonsense, but
yeah,
you can't have it both ways. You can't have a vacuum next to gas pressure. Doesn't work. Basic.
that's facts. And they will say, well, they brought up the pressure gradient, like if gravity is pulling all gases down, which he claims, but when we bring up the bubble in the water, they say, well, buoyancy pulling that up, you
Yeah,
know. And
yeah.
then if gravity is pulling all gases down, then the last layer of gas in the atmosphere, gravity is pulling that down too. That's the lightest gas, and it's way up there. It should be pulled all the way down. But
Everything should be right.
right, but
Yeah,
yeah, so that's
I agree
crazy.
with you. Yeah, I mean, that's another big fact for us flat earthers to point out. You can't have their whole thing of space being a vacuum. It would suck everything out. There's no way around it. It has to be
Hmm.
an enclosed system, and it has to be stationary, and it has to be flat. We know water is level, right? Sea level. Wherever you're at, what's the sea level? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
not the sea curve.
Hmm. That's
Um,
facts.
so water's level. That's just reality. Doing work, we use things called a level, and then it is water in a bubble, and that's how you build with to make sure it's level. You know, you use water because it always is level. There's certain things that are facts that ballers are never going to be able to. They're going to have to just come up with these. They call us conspiracy theories, and they're the ones using theories. The
Mm.
theory of relativity, the theory of
Yeah,
gravity, the theory of evolution.
yeah.
They literally say theory in them because they
Hmm.
ain't facts.
And then they'll say, well, a scientific theory is a fact. You know, they have all of those games they play. But
Well, then it would say scientific fact. Why
yeah,
even use a word called theory if it ain't a theory?
right.
You know, they got to do mental gymnastics, which,
Hmm.
which, us flat earthers, we want facts. We want provable, observable stuff that we could prove. And, you know, uh, scientists have been from like the 1800s, uh, the Bedford level experiment. There's flat earthers the past couple of years going out there with P900s, looking over, 100 something miles across the lake and seeing it still level, where there would have to be, 100 and something foot curve at that distance. I mean, you could use basic math and do your own experiments, and you're gonna find out what scientists for the past 100-something years have found out. I can't prove the Earth is moving. Even Einstein admitted can't prove it, right? Because there's nothing that you could do, you know. For you ballers,
And,
I think the only reason you believe it is because you got fake videos from NASA saying, well, if they went to the moon, then it has to be a ball.
yeah.
But you go outside right now and tell me that you could prove that you're flying, you know, a half a billion miles an hour, spinning 67,000 miles per hour. There's no evidence of that. Yeah, out there sometimes there ain't even a breeze. Leaves ain't even moving. You're telling me
Mm-hmm.
you flying that fast. There's nothing that proves it other than fake NASA stuff, you
Nah,
know?
that's facts. Let me give a shout out to Sally McDermott and to Just Be Real. Thank y'all for the super chats. Nah, that's facts though.
Yeah, there's nothing. They've done experiments. People could go look them up. Um, this is a recent lie. Oh, another thing I wanted before I forgot was for the square Earth. So probably people who do know me, I'm big about exposing the Jesuits, right? So there's actually, if you were to type into Google like square Earth cosmology, the number one thing that's going to pop up is they're going to tell you that the Chinese believed that the Earth was square, flat plane, right? That it was square, and that the Jesuits basically show up, and his name was Matteo Ricci, was reporting back to the Pope saying, "Oh, the Chinese believe that the Earth is square." So, even up until a couple hundred years ago, the Chinese were talking about a square stationary Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people when they hear square Earth, they like to show this. I do like how it's square and you got the angels at the corners, which
Mm-hmm.
is biblical, but it's still to me they're still kind of promoting a circle dish, which
Okay.
I don't
I see.
agree with.
I immediately see what you saying now when you say it. Okay. Let me
Yeah,
see it.
mine's more of a square thing,
Yeah.
like that UTM. But yeah, these are
Uh.
all images. So you see that one, the green and yellow one? Um, yeah, that's what they believed in. They believed that the earth was square and the heavens were a circle. Um, that's what the Chinese believed up until the Jesuits took them over.
What's interesting about this is the Vatican courtyard is made just like this model. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yep. And for people who believe in the Bible, um, it says in the Bible the way God created it, he called it like a tabernacle. And people could just type in tabernacle and you'll see that tabernacles are rectangle or square. They're straight lines, and he talks about heaven being that too. And then like it drapes down like a tent. So you got like Solomon's temple and these things, and the Jews, they have like these tabernacles and they're square or rectangle. So um, I actually think that it's a pyramid structure. The whole, like we're obviously on like this plane, right? So the base would be square, which I believe we're at. Then if you get into these multiple heavens, underworld, like the Egyptians, everybody talks about the underworld, Sheol or this and that.
Yeah.
It would actually be a pyramid.
Yeah, it's
I
like a ziggurat.
Yeah.
Sovereignty. We
Mm-hmm.
following Sov? Huh?
Hey, Rum Ham, let me mute your mic. Am I bringing people on too early? We
No,
could put
man,
them
I'm
in the
good with
waiting room.
whatever you want,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate you letting me come on and say this. You know how much this topic means to me, and I've been trying my best to give another option to flat earthers. Like you said, just if there's a 24-hour sun there or whatever, it doesn't mean that the earth is not flat. It just means that the circle dish doesn't work. And like he said, there's me, you mentioned someone else, there's people that have uh alternative models. So
This what I think we live on. One of these
yeah.
square rings.
Yeah, to me like a pyramid structure like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Like, why were the ancients so obsessed with that? And why was the Catholic Church? I know nowadays everybody wants to say it's like an Illuminati, it's a
Yeah.
Mason symbol, the pyramid in the eye, but it's actually a Catholic symbol. And it was God's all-seeing eye. God on top of the pyramid is actually an early Christian symbol. I think the ancients believed that this was like those structures you're showing is actually how they have it. Different
You,
planes, and then on the
mhm.
top, God's at the foot, on the footstool.
And what they calling God really is just the seat of the soul. Because really, like, people will say, well, the all seeing eye above the pyramid is satanic, but they'll celebrate Christmas when your Christmas tree is just the pyramid and the star on the top is the all seeing eye, too. But it's representing the spinal cord with the seat of the soul mounted at the top, which is like the light within you, this consciousness, you know,
Mhm.
seated at the top of the spinal. This is what it all symbolizes for real.
Yeah, I know you do deep stuff, man. Um,
But
yeah,
it,
but why would the whole world, everywhere, it doesn't matter what
yeah.
continent, what island, they got these structures that all are basically the same, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why they all have these step pyramids everywhere? People, they push like the pyramids of just Egypt. Africa has 200 pyramids. You know how many are in North and South America? Over 2,000 pyramids. There's over 200 pyramids in China. The pyramids are everywhere all over the world. So why would why were they obsessed with this symbol? Because this is how they envision our reality. And at the bottom of the pyramid is a flat square plane, which is where I believe we are.
Yeah, salutes to this information.
Coordinates.
Rum Ham, you free to join in whenever you ready with your mic. And the link is pinned. We welcoming globalists as well. I know Rob was trying to join, but I'm not really
Oh,
trying to
please
do it.
no.
Yeah, I ain't trying to.
Any bowler who wants to come up, they need to explain that international time zone before I answer any of their questions.
Yeah, that's what he can do.
Nah, I just wanted to vouch for the maps that the military use because I worked at an airport next to a military base.
Nice.
So and well our strip was like 2 miles long, so they like to land on our side and then refuel up much quicker too.
Hmm.
And so they would come in and do their little maps and everything. I
I just
probably have
wanted to know for
4 or 5 different maps out, and they'll
Hmm.
be doing their trajectory, figuring out where they got to go. Uh,
Yeah,
but
man.
the funniest day was we had Navy pilots come in, and we're outside having a cigarette, and this new guy, he's the Army kid. He comes over and he starts talking to him, trying to sound cool, and he asks them, "So, where did you guys come from?" And I just looked at him like, "Oh, you're an idiot." And they just looked at him and go, "From a ship?"
Mm. Shout out to my brother Rum Ham, man. Flat power to you.
Yeah, flat
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
And,
they
and
they didn't use no globe. That's for sure when they were
yeah,
doing their
Yep.
mapping.
Yep.
They weren't worried about no curvature. You know what they do care about? You get them in a nice straight line.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the earth that's not moving underneath them.
Yeah, that's
Stationary,
right.
Stationary.
non-rotating,
Yep.
flat
Yeah, they
earth.
ain't worried about the rotation or nothing. Hey, make
Yeah.
sure I'm nice and straight. Because when you park them, you got to line them right up. It's all level.
Hmm.
You can't have one plane in front of a little bit in front of the other. No, they got to be nice and straight. Boom, boom, boom. Because it's all they got to turn. They got to turn properly. Everything's all coordinated. There ain't no tilt. There ain't no jumping around like on a globe. No, it's flat. It's nice. Everything's not. You gotta be nice. Everything nice, and keeps going. Don't mess. Don't change anything now. You change something, you're gonna get yelled at. You're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope.
And you know the military ain't messing around. You know that they got to be they got to know what they're doing. Uh, the fighting World War in these wars. Even World War II, Vietnam. Whatever. I mean, they got to know how to map and how to fly, and they're all using a UTM mapping system.
Yep, they're
So
using them squares and everything like that. And
yeah,
the one nobody really brings up, it's the topographical maps.
hmm
They always have those on with them because you can't be flying over no mountain ranges or anything like that
hmm yeah,
because those things capture wind and they can just, or some maybe fog will get in their way or clouds, so
great
they
point.
really don't want to be flying over that type of stuff.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, and that other fact I brought up too, maps with a scale on it, which obviously the military's using. Um, it only is on square grids like this. You'll have a scale map. People
Because
watch that video. It's a U.S. Army training video, and it'll break that down.
they're more worried about their fuel
Mm,
than anything. Can I, do I got enough fuel to get to here and there? That's the reason why they got all the maps, and they got to make sure everything is dotted and they got everything right. You can't have nothing messed,
yeah.
Yeah.
crappy map on you.
And
And
another thing that the son doing that I think was brought up today too, that I would like to hear you talk about, Rumham, was when Vinny brought up the Diomede Islands
mhm.
and that big. It's like a 21-hour time separation within 2 miles.
Yep. You ever
That's
hear
it.
about that? You
I,
guys ever? You
I
never
wouldn't
heard of
be
that?
surprised there's some like it has to do with water. You know how the oceans it'll kind of like there's like a divider in between them. You can see like the different
Where they
like
don't
sub
mix.
water. Yeah, they
But,
don't mix.
right.
Hmm.
So maybe that's what that timeline.
Well, look, I asked ChatGPT how do you explain that on a globe model, and it's interesting what ChatGPT said, y'all.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So ChatGPT said, of course they're gonna give you the flat Earth numbers to put it superimposed on the globe, but it say Earth rotates 360 degrees in 24 hours, 15 degrees of longitude equal 1 hour. As Earth spins eastward, locations to the east experience local noon earlier than locations to the west. This is why the world is divided into time zones based on longitude. The international dateline is the calendar reset. If you keep moving east or west around the globe and adjust your clock by time zones, eventually your date must change. The international dateline is where that date change happens. So when I was in South Korea, right, y'all, I had a birthday. I was in the Air Force. I was at Osan Air Base. I had a birthday at the air base. And I left that day right when the sun was like setting. I left in a plane and I went to America home for birthday leave. I basically followed the sun. So when I got to America, it was my birthday morning again. So I'm saying if I would have kept following the sun according to this, I would have reached a point where I would have had to change over to the 23rd. It's no longer my birthday anymore because the sun has made a complete loop around, and where that change take place would be this date line, and that just can't work on a globe because again they're using 360, but they got 365 days in a year. Because think about it, right? The celestial wheel is spinning very slow while the sun run these fast laps around the earth 24 hours a day. The big sky behind it is doing like a very slow turn. And so when the sun run 360 fast laps, then the sky above it would have been made a full loop, giving us a year. It ain't 365. So that's why we got to have leap year to compensate for them making it. So that's what I'm saying. They're using all of the numbers that's based on the flat earth, but superimposing it on the orbital mechanics model when that's not what their model doing. It the sun ain't even making a perfect 24 hours on their model.
Hey, Sanchez, can I say something real quick?
Yeah. Shout out to you, Reese.
What's up? I understand that the firmament has the stars within it and it's moving slow, right? That's what you explained.
I agree too.
Yeah.
So is the light source coming through it moving faster? Is that what's making the sun move faster and do its you understand what I mean?
Well, the thing is this, right? The dome itself has these stars that's kind of fits to it, if you will. And as it turn, they turn. So all of these so-called fit stars, they turn very slowly in the background. While the sun ain't a fit star, it's a wandering star, and it's able to move a little bit more dynamic do its own thing. So the sun is like, let's say we on the sky is the merry-go-round, and the merry-go-round is going very slow. It's taking it 360 days to do a complete circle. But the sun is standing on that merry-go-round doing quick circles itself. While the merry-go-round turn one big slow circle, the sun is basically within that merry-go-round matrix, but it's doing its own fast circles while the merry-go-round do one big slow circle. And it takes the sun, when the sun does 360 fast circles on the merry-go-round, the merry-go-round has completed a full turn.
I understand that concept 100%. I just want to make sure you understand the question.
Okay.
The source of the sun's light, right? We're not talking about the firmament or the stars anymore.
All right,
we're talking about what comes through and joins at that point and makes our sun, right? That itself, that source has to be moving faster than the firmament itself. You understand what I'm saying? Because if the firmament itself is making a 365-day rotation, right? The light source that creates our sun is making a 24-hour rotation, much, much faster. Okay. That's what I was trying to say.
I'm with you on that, and I'm checking. I got you.
Right. So I've been seeing videos of like multiple suns and what have you, right?
Yeah.
That indicates to me, right, from the flat earth knowledge that I just got from content creators, that indicates to me that there's levels to that firmament, right?
Yeah.
It has to be.
It is.
I could just talk about Enoch. That's, what I've been focusing on. Enoch talks about 6 portals. And he'll talk about like the first one is Mercury goes through that. Jupiter goes through the 6th portal. It's talking about different portals and different heavens or planes, like you're saying, different levels.
Don't he call them gates?
Yeah, gates, doorways, gates. And then it talks about windows. Like there's the main gate or doorway. And then he talks about also windows next to them. But he talks about 6 gates or portals as the main thing and give description of, the Jupiter goes through the 6th and Mercury's going through the 1st. And he really breaks it down into detail, everything.
Can I make you a recommendation to the
Sure.
panel? I want if you guys can find a bowl set, right, where all the bowls are like perfectly round and they're all glass. You know how they come in different sizes and you can buy the whole set and like they're inside of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to like duplicate the firmament or whatever we believe in and try some things with some light sources and maybe just try to figure some stuff out. I don't have them resources in my room right now, but that's something I plan to do in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should be doing experiments.
Yeah.
Great point.
Because I think that the sun is refracted. It's not the original source of light. It's definitely like a refracted reflection version of some other original light source, though. It's like kind of like what we are. It's like holographic. Everything in the sky is a reflection.
Watch this, bro, Sanchez. So not me, but a real smart guy that like has understanding of a watch or a car's transmission. He might be able to measure the time that the firmament does a revolution and compare it to the time that the sun does a revolution and whatever else is revolving, like the stars and their trips, and put it all together and maybe determine the sizes of the zones that they're in. You understand what I mean? Because in a transmission, you'll have one part of it that's spinning a certain speed, and then a bigger gear will be spinning much faster. You know what I mean? There has to be a way that we can figure this out, because we got information that we can find on Google and stuff, but we got to try our own stuff and try to, that's the only way we're going to really get to the final answer, because nobody's going to ever give it to us.
And I'm starting to look at this thing as the more woke I get, the less I see this whole cosmic system as some mechanical thing, and the more I start seeing it like, it's gonna sound crazy, a body. Because I'm saying that I really think the North Pole is our central nervous system, and I think the gates that Enoch is talking about is the chakras within ourselves. Like when Jesus saying the kingdom of heaven is within.
Yeah. Well, how could you be wrong if we don't know? You know what I'm saying? So the body has things inside of it that are on time and cyclical. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
Yeah.
And that last picture you put up, Sanchez, go back to that picture. And they got videos of like, on a certain time of the year, you can see ripples on the moon and on Mercury. So that looks kind of familiar. Like that's when it's coming through the gates, and it's going, and you see ripples on the planets, on the celestial
Or it's
bodies.
some kind of medium up there, like waves, like some kind of ocean-like medium above us, and we can see it like we at the bottom of some kind of ocean right now, and the atmosphere layers are these sort of oceans of waters above, like the ancients say. Then I think these moon ripples prove that.
Well, I was gonna, can I say something?
Yeah.
Sanjay, I think you posted the video, I believe, and maybe a lot of flat earthers remember, but Russian scientist says the moon is a hologram. I think you probably posted that. I mean, yeah, they know that it's not a physical object. It's like you said, a hologram. So's the sun, to go back to what you were talking about before. And to talk about ripples too, I personally, with my friend who bought a P900, when you look at the stars, even the stars, it looks like they're rippling in water.
True.
So not just the moon, even the stars, they're changing colors, and it looks like they're rippling in water.
Like in the
it's
pool,
like
you're looking at a pool of water.
My bad. Did you guys look at any like just basic stars instead of the known ones that?
Just basic stars. Yeah,
because this stuff is crazy. This one of those things about flat Earth that I'm always gonna be fascinated with, and that is the nature of the stars based upon what we seeing versus what they telling us is up there. This is a good video right here.
That's exactly what I saw. That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I saw personally through a P900. Some of them changing colors, rippling. So
now remember the Freemason video that's showing how these are projected from the ground into the sky? You ever saw that? Y'all remember that?
I think I seen it once. I can't remember the details.
All right, I'll pull it up for you.
Hey Sanchez, have you ruled out the gear theory that I have?
No, I haven't ruled it out. But let me say this, and I'll fall. Okay, now go ahead.
Now I was saying the eclipse, the way that behaves, was part of my gear theory, because I feel like something is behind that light source that's slowly covering it, and then it goes away. Because you never see the moon go through the sky, even though you can see it in the morning when it's with the sun in the morning. When there's eclipse, you don't see it go across the sky and then cover the sun and then go away. So I feel like it's something on the other side moving at a different speed, like a gear or some sort.
Yeah. Because we definitely, when we looking at an eclipse, it's proven that the sun and moon are portals, gateways, and we're literally looking at something move within them that's obstructing that. Because like I always pointed that out too, we never see the moon creep into view from the side and then block the sun. We go outside and they tell us just look at the sun and wait for it. That don't make no sense. We should track the moon into the sun, but this is something happening within the sun itself.
I don't like the fact that people believe the moon is solid when you can see right through it, day or night.
Exactly.
That bothers me.
And
that's how do you see a blue sky behind it?
And a black one at night.
Yeah.
I have a theory that
That's the MasterCard symbol.
I have a theory that you'll get a better answer out of a child than you would out of an adult. If you ask them like a question about our realm, anything about it. If you point to a tree and what do you see? And you point to a mountain and the kid says, I see a sleeping elephant. The kid is usually right. And the adult is the dumb one.
Yeah, they've been programmed.
You never show a kid a globe and tell him that you live on a ball of water. He won't buy it.
Yeah, so the video of the Freemason with the flat earth joint, hold on. Let me show it to you real quick. I think this is a good one. Yeah, here it is. We'll show it to y'all. They got 3 of 3, so I take it they put it in parts. Let's go to this one. Here it go. Rumble.
He immediately.
I'm gonna skip up, and this I want to skip to here where we showing where he's saying Sheol is a projection machine, and this concept ain't exclusive to Freemasons. You see this basically. This Sheol is what's projecting the sky. You see, you know what's
the black hole?
Yeah. So, and if you think about it, if you think about this black point, this epicenter, right, with all of these rays coming from it, what literally is Sheol? To me, it's something like a plasma ball, to where these filaments that we see in the plasma ball, that's what the stars are. They're coming from the ground like the Mason showing. That's why when we look up at the stars, they look like the end of plasma ball filaments. They even react like that. You see how they move, like, and how they kind of.
Did that look like a human eye to y'all a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it's like a flower. Like that dot in the middle would be like the stem. And then around it would be like the petal. But if the reason it looked like that, this Mason showing us, because each star is a ray of light that's being projected up there from the ground, which will explain the why they shaped that way. You know what I'm saying? Just like they were.
That black ball on that image must be doing a 365-day trip, right? Or a spin or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What happened is it don't have to move. It can do this like this. It can move things by. If you look at the ball in the middle of this, like, I don't think the stuff we see in the sky is independent objects doing what they want to do. I think they're projected holograms, and the machine that's projecting them up there is dictating their motion, like this plasma ball, sort of.
I have a theory too. I think there are holes in the levels.
What you mean by that?
Piercings in the ether is what you're saying. Stargates, and I
ain't on the other side of the firmament, and those are holes. Like,
and let's just say that the black hole sun is piercing through the veil, piercing these portals through there with height levels. So let's say that if we go back to this Hebrew model, how you got the upper heaven, the lower heavens, and all that. Let's say you got this source in the middle of the earth. It's shooting it like think of a seed in the ground. In order for the seed to break up to the surface and see through the veil, it got to grow a stem and turn into like a plant and peek its head through there. So that's what I'm saying. Each star is like a projection from Sheol, but it's at a higher projection level, creating a different plateau height level in these ethers, but it's all coming from below. Does this make sense to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
But
and maybe it's not a machine. Maybe it's some kind of natural occurrence that's causing it. You know, that's not a machine necessarily.
Well,
It could be
well,
organic.
I'm gonna use the word machine just for a placeholder because you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can
Right.
call it Sheol, right? But it's just the how it works, the how it functions is what I want to explore.
Mm. I've
But
seen
yes,
this before too. This makes a lot of sense. There's a couple other theories that make sense too. It's just shameful that we don't know, bro. But we got to
yeah.
talk like this to try to find out. Somebody
Yeah.
got to get a round table with a hole in it and try to duplicate this. Get some glass bowls.
I
You know what I mean?
I think we really own it. I think we closer than we think. I think it is simple. The ancestors wanted it to be simple. They carved it on the walls. They left it in all the hieroglyphs. They encoded it in the Bible, the Quran, and they were geniuses with this stuff. Like the Mayan was so skilled at making predictions, and I don't think that we can. I think we can get back there, man. I think I think that is so they simplified it so much that once we tap it, just like how we was believing in the globe, right? And the moment we came into the flat earth stuff, it was like so simple to see, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be
study Philadelphia. So there's something unique going on here, and when I'm riding around, I just see things. I don't know about the rest of the world, but this city is significant for a reason.
It is. Yeah, Philly got some energy to it, man. As definitely.
Bro, our city hall is a monstrous castle. Our art museum is a monstrous castle.
That Tartarian vibes.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look, all over the city, even in the hood, man. Hundreds of them. Castles.
Yeah, pedophilia.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, I hope some of you guys check out the video I have too, because we got different views into this stuff, and
Yeah,
if you
we
guys
do.
are interested in hearing different views, check out the 2 videos.
Of course.
Because to us, we again basing it on Enoch, and even Nathan Oakley and those guys, they will say that the stars are a flat plane also. So, but Nathan, he said he was going to have me on, and then he chickened out, and he gets all weird about you talk about the ether, and he also said he doesn't care about a model, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, all he wants to do is just prove the Earth's flat, and I'm like, yeah, but what about a model, bro? Like, I got a model I want to show you, and the minute you mention anything to do with the ether, he just like loses it, and then
that's crazy.
Didn't let me come on the show.
Hey, the curvature above us can be determined, right? It could be.
You know why he does that? For a long time, I thought they was hiding flat Earth, and I realized they was hiding free energy in the ether.
Yeah, the ether is important, and yeah, it's a little
They don't
weird
care
how they don't want to talk about it.
If you told the people in power, hey, can everyone in the world know the truth that the Earth flat, but they don't know about the ether and free energy, and we can move on? They would accept that deal. They would take that. They'll take you up for that.
Wow.
They wouldn't care that you know the Earth flat, long as you think you got a glass dome over you and that they burning fossil fuels for energy.
Hey, remember I brought Eric Dollard? I was the guy who brought Eric Dollard over to Sanchez, and Eric Dollard's the leading expert in the world of Tesla technology, and they're all about the ether. So here it is, the smartest people making this technology, they all know the ether is real. Nothing works without it.
Like, this is when they seriously start getting on your radar when you go to talking about free energy and stuff like that. I'm seriously. The only reason they hid, let me show y'all why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I know to a lot of y'all, you may be like, hold up, Sanchez tripping right now. You know what I'm saying? If you one of them people, it's okay. Let it be known.
I think it falls back to the Antarctic Treaty. That's when they started hiding all that stuff.
Now, people may say, well, they hiding the shape of the Earth. They ain't hiding the shape of the Earth. They're hiding a patent which is a free energy device, what we call a Tesla coil, which they downplaying, but a Tesla coil can generate free energy, perpetual motion. And the Tesla coil is basically showing us what the earth is according to the ancestors, and how the sun and moon, how everything is powering itself perpetually. So look, earth generating power. It takes power for motion is power. So this is explaining how the earth is able to generate power, and the earth got to generate power. You can't have motion without energy. So they would say, well, the motion comes from the Big Bang when everything was expelled outward, right? So because you got to explain how a rock with water on it giving us electricity versus us living on a Tesla coil.
Hydroelectrics.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, hydroelectrics don't explain how a rock with water on it can give electricity, because hydroelectrics is a process that can only be possible if there's an ether and if the earth is a Tesla coil.
Exactly.
So like this collage is showing they ain't hiding the shape of the earth. Well, they hiding the shape of the earth, but what they really hiding is they don't want you to know what the earth is, because that'll go into how the earth powers itself, and that'll go into free energy, which is taboo.
And so that's more like saying the nature of our realm, more to so to speak.
Yeah.
So we live on a battery?
Basically, yeah, we live on a battery.
And we are batteries.
And remember, when you say battery, the last words is terry or terra firma. It has to produce its energy some kind of way. And that's why you got, that's why Earth is all about negative and positive duality, because it's a battery, negative, positive.
And that's like the Arctic and the Antarctic. Arc is light, and Antarctic is the negative. So the negative and the positive, and Arctic circle and Antarctic circle.
In our model, that's what we have. We have like the North Pole is positive, and the South would be, the opposite.
Isn't the word arc? Don't the word arc mean electricity, right? Mean power, right?
Well, arc is like curved, or like the opposite or something.
No, if you look up the word arc, it tells you it means power or something like that, or electricity.
No, that's a great point.
If
you look up Antarctic, is the negative and the positive.
Shout
They're
out to
telling
you,
us in our
Awakening
face that
Minds.
they're playing on it.
Hey,
They're
much
playing on it in
respect.
our face.
Yeah, they
Much
are.
respect to all of y'all, man. Appreciate
Peace,
the bill,
peace.
bro. Much respect. But Retton, you spot on. You spot on. The anti-Arctic and the Arctic. It's just like bro was showing with that collage. The coil, in a sense, because in the northern hemisphere, it rotates smaller. Yeah, right there, bro. Much respect to my nigga. And then on the southern hemisphere, it rotates wider. Now, in a sense, it's just making the anomalina, bro, and that's something you can put in etymology. I would like for you to see the word anomalima.
That's what makes that 8 looks like a squeezed in 8. The
But
anomalima.
if you're looking down on it, it's looking just like the Tesla coil. And I know somebody brought up this a couple weeks ago, bro, saying that the Antarctic is at a higher elevation. So you would be able to see more of the sun. So when they did the little trip to the Antarctic, the final so-called experiment, that explains a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because at that specific time in the seasons, you would be seeing the sun die for 3 days, then kind of wraps back around. But before it gets to the equator, it's still going the same direction. It's literally a Tesla coil. No matter how even if you look up the word anomalima in etymology, bro, it breaks this all down. They keep acting like.
Spell it. I'll look it up for you.
Here, I got you.
ANALEMMA.
Analema. ANALEMMA. If you look up, and this is back from the 1600s. They be acting like flat Earth is a new concept, but when we put these words in etymology, it breaks it all down. as soon as you pull it up, I'll just show you what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. You
So
know,
it's the
He got it
projection
up.
of the celestial sphere onto the plane of meridian.
yes,
Later,
Plane.
brother.
yeah,
Plane.
plane,
And,
right?
Plane.
That's
if you
facts.
look up if you look up the word ARC, it says luminous electrical discharge. Dang, I forgot what it said.
Well,
A luminous electrical discharge analode or something like that. If
Yeah,
you
like
put in the word
welding.
put in
Yeah,
word ARC.
yeah, like if you're
so
welding, they call it an arch.
Yeah,
mhm.
bro. The word analema used to be the pedestal of a sundial.
Yes,
That's
bro.
crazy.
And just from now, a lot of this knowledge, they say, just like the brother. Hey, shout out to Vinny too, Vinny.
Let me ask
You
you
know,
something. Is the
Thank
analema
you.
equivalent to like the South Pole?
no, it's encapsulated in both of them, bro, because after it passed the meridian, it starts going wider. You know, the equator.
Yeah.
Meridian, you can say, is equator, right? So once it past the equator, it starts being wider and slower. When it, you know, so and it's just in season. It's like a hologram. You know what I mean? And bro, you had did a documentary back in the day on that brother Anwar. You know, when he
Yeah.
had, yeah, bro, that was a very good depiction of all of this. You know, that might
Talking
be
about
something.
with the magnetic sun 1 point,
Yes,
that was
bro.
with FE core. I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
putting that back out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please,
I
bro.
don't
That
know why they kind of, bro. They deleted that video
yeah,
from the
no, they
web.
did,
Like,
bro. And then he re-uploaded it back, but he broke it up in parts. Because even when you were talking about the frequency and vibration, how they created like structures, you know what I'm saying? Like the castle with the frequency in it. You remember that? That was a
yeah,
good video, bro. But just to get back to the analema and the fact that they went to the final experiment, so called, during December. They can go right now or during the spring, bro, and they won't
right.
see these same effects. But it's just what the sun and the moon is doing from the projection from the core. Now, where you are within the hemisphere, it looks different. When you're on the furthest or on the southern part, because it's a higher elevation, you're gonna see more. So even if you pull up just a picture of the analema right now in Google, you'll see that it's a wider circle at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's an
Facts.
8, but it's just
And the
because
smaller
it's
one at
make
the north. Yep.
yeah. And even if we
Yeah.
want to go further, this is the Neuralink, all of this shit. It's all the same shit. You know what I mean? What the
But
Infinity
this
symbol.
will explain why they see 24-hour sun as well.
exactly, bro. With the point of Antarctica being a higher elevation. You see what I'm saying? So you get to see more. You get to see further if you're in the ring, the Antarctic ring. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted you to see the etymology on the word analema. Again, this is before, not Copernicus, but this is before they start changing everything over. This is before the globe and all of that. And even with the globe, that doesn't explain why they see 24 hours
At
in the
all.
Antarctica. They don't touch on that. They just keep bringing up, oh well, you can't see 24 hours on the flat Earth. Yeah, if we're in the northern hemisphere, I understand that. You can only see so far. Now, if
But
you
we
go,
have a 24-hour sun in the north also.
And
but
and
it's
and
go ahead,
and
go
it
ahead.
is like, if we let's do this. Let's say we do got a 24-hour sun. Let's just entertain it, just for the sake of forcing ourselves to explain it on our model. Y'all down?
Sure.
Because I'm gonna be honest, the portal idea is something we're gonna have to deal with eventually, if it even ain't even about the 24-hour sun, even if it's just trying to explain eclipses and stuff, like, because Rahu and Ketu is kind of back in Enoch's story up too, some swallowing up of the sun. Even when you say analema, I'm looking at the etymology, and the word lema means to capture, to seize, to take
Mhm.
something.
That goes right into the Rahu Ketu. Even what the brother was saying about the Pac-Man concept and
Yeah.
Mr. Pac-Man, I agree with all of that. That's why they even say Jesus died for 3 days, during that period of time, because the sun is now going back the other way. It dies for 3 days. It's literally making
Yep.
the analema symbol, you know?
I think the flat Earth community, we watching this. I don't think denying the 24-hour sun gonna help us moving forward. The more I talk about this, because we can explain it and it make it look like we can't. But yeah,
Especially with the higher elevation in the Antarctic,
facts.
you know?
Well, you remember,
bro.
Sanchez, you remember last time I was on, we were talking about the 24-hour sun in the north, and the audience, D Marble ended up showing up. You remember that?
Yep. Shout out to D Marble. Yeah.
Yeah, D Marble went and did the experiment himself, and he's, there is a 24-hour sun in the north. So
Yeah. So there
There's
we go.
also there's more people up there too. You got the Alaska people and
yeah,
And
so
you know what's interesting? We're saying that the 24-hour sun is real, and it actually proved our model, not theirs, because now we're talking about you elevating at these places. That's why people always talked about going up north and down south.
they want us in the south, but we
Right?
need
It's
to go north.
universal. That when you know what I'm saying, because and then think about this: the ice ring is what 200 feet above sea level. So my thing is, on a globe model, they're saying that Antarctica is an ice cap that's extending 200 feet above the ground because there's a thick sheet of ice on the surface of it. So they still putting you up on a platform. Yeah.
The ice is on water. I've
well,
never seen
well, no, I can answer this. The north, because they're actually a lot different. The north is level, and it's just ice on the water, like you were just saying. But Antarctica is actually a continent, and it is higher, like someone was just saying. It is higher. It's also a lot colder. Um, and it doesn't have like bears and reindeer like the north has. The south has like nothing but like penguins and like sea lions. It's weird that they are different. And in the past, when I've gotten into this, it actually gets into what the guy was just talking about with the analema. And the book Enoch talking about these 6 portals, one being higher and lower. So I think we're actually all in the same ballpark and getting to the answers.
And
It does
to
have to
like
do
a
with
yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
No, I think we're gonna end up creating a close to perfect model eventually.
Yeah, that should be our goal. We shouldn't be afraid to have the talk. That's why a little disappointed in you, Nathan Oakley.
Yeah, you got like it's once we prove the ground is flat, then eventually somehow we're gonna have to start. I like the book of Enoch. I think a lot of people scared of it because they think, well, we strand away from science when really you going into the cutting edge of science, which is wormhole technology, portaling technology.
And it's funny, Christians even get crazy because they're like, it's not in the Bible, the book of Enoch, and
Yeah.
don't use that. And it's like, okay, well, it actually was a part. It's still a part of the Ethiopian Bible to this day, but it was taken out of the King James and these other Bibles recently.
You know, they can't deny the analema, bro. There's structures on the flat plane that's built, you know what I'm saying, mimicking the atmosphere. Now, you don't need the atmosphere to prove the plane we're walking on, but that's why I wanted you to pull up the definition of analema, because a lot of these structures are built on this same sacred geometry. You know what I'm saying?
I think the
project-
a
tropics
lot of
kind of
it,
explain. I think the tropics kind of explain that we in centric circles because in the summer solstice the sun is in front of the tropics, and then on the winter solstice the sun is behind them. That's why it's always hot there, and the water always is always a good weather because the sun travels in front of them or behind them all year round. And you
and if
can't
we're
explain that on the globe.
You can. And if we're flying through space and seeing the same constellations, seeing the same geometry, you know what I'm saying? You can't, the word equator alone should just debunk the fucking globe. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
agree.
but it's a lot of word semantic because once you get to the southern hemisphere, the sun and the moon are making a wider circuit.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So, but it's never different stars in our celestial sphere. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a lot of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And they
Well,
act like this concept is new of how we used to depict in the old world, how we used to depict this type of information. But once they give you the globe, now they can say at the bottom, or it's you get what I'm saying? Because if you think of a globe at the bottom, it's making a they're saying, oh, it's lower, but just because it's a bottom of the globe, but it's not the case. It's wider. You see what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be moving back around. Like it dies for 3 days and it's gonna move it. So if you're at a higher elevation, you can see this process. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jaron kept bringing up. Oh no, I seen the sun and it was going the other direction. It's You kind of have to be there to get this, but to know this type of stuff, like, bro, this is nothing new. We've been known this. This is why they even have the concept of the analalima, which is
Facts.
just a circuit. It's just a coil when you're looking down from the top view. It's just the Tesla coil. They will never be able to get rid of that, bro. Never. So that collage you have, bro, that is fire. That is putting all of them together with the Tesla coil. That's fire, bro. You know what I mean?
Because people need to see the Earth as a technology, in my opinion. So,
'Cause you
because
always
the reason, and I land here, the reason they don't want us to see Earth like a Tesla coil, because they want to maintain the idea that the creator is some spook god in heaven with a beard versus could have been advanced humans made this whole shit and we are in a simulation. This is like them would have to rewrite everything overnight, theology and all that. So
but what you saying make more sense on how the Earth power itself versus a rock floating in space. How does
yeah,
that power itself? That don't even make sense.
at all.
Yeah, I think the military is on our side because they have the information, and I think if we dig a little more because they got all the new declassified stuff coming out. I'm pretty sure somewhere in there those documents they got all of our
Well,
all math and
the
all that stuff.
military got the information, but that don't mean they on our side.
Yeah, you're right. Now on our
They're
side,
getting
but
the same thing.
we can with our flat Earth mind, we can look at it and go, oh, that's how. All right, yeah.
You know what's so crazy too, bro? Like when I was saying a lot of these ancient sites, they're built on the meridian, they're built on ley lines, even the Pyramid of Giza. No matter what map you look at, it's always going to show that 30-degree line right there. Like even if you pull up just a regular AE map, I'll just show you this right now. It's always running through the Pyramid of Giza on a 30-degree angle. Yeah, just pull one up for me real quick. You see,
Yeah.
so right there, think of the unit circle, my brother. This is the graph of it all, right?
Yeah.
So you see the line through the middle, line is going down. 30 degrees is literally running through Giza. You see what I mean? Now I can point out other structural sites, but no matter what, you can pull up any other map, bro. It's always going to show you because these ancient sites are built on the meridian lines or the ley lines.
But you know what's crazy? They call them the meridian lines, and the word merit is like Maru because they coming from
Mhm.
Maru. Yeah.
There we go, my brother. Facts. And how the hell you gonna have a line on a sphere?
Right. That'll be the meridian arches. Yeah.
And it's not like we're denying the atmosphere above us, because that's electricity. That's the arc, area, radius, circumference, arc. You know, they can never get rid of this information, bro. Never. You know,
Yeah, that's facts.
and even when they give us the globe, if you look right here on this map, you'll see the temperature differences. You know what I mean? You have the tropical areas right in the middle. You know, even on a globe, they'll try to do this, but it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And so they know the shit, bro. They know the correct shit. I just want my people out there to know we are speaking the truth. This is the periodic table. This is everything, man. This is what they don't want us to know. This is how you generate electricity. This is what they don't want us to know, you know? And the fact that we know, it's a problem for them, you know?
Well, another dagger is when an airplane loses a jet engine. Why doesn't it should just start spinning around and crashing? But no, it can still stay up there, but it just loses elevation. And that's because the gas is level in the wings. That's why when they lose an engine, they don't just all of a sudden just fall from the sky.
I don't even think it's gas in there, but that's a whole nother topic.
Well, listen, Redden, I used to put fuel on airplanes, right? And the fuel is like 10% of reason why the plane fly. You see what I'm saying?
How long it took you to fill up a plane?
Probably 10 minutes, depending on where the flight is going. But
That's crazy because it take me 10 minutes to fill my car. So it's 10 minutes to fill up an airplane?
Well, it's the mechanicism that they have, and then the type of fuel. They use Jet A fuel. But the big thing I just wanted to say is that all that shit is ran on balance. That's why your luggage has to be a certain weight. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit is weight and height you can never get rid of. Right. You see what I'm saying? And the word height is H-E-I-T-H. You see the 8 in the middle? You see the 8? H-E-I-G-H-T, just like weight, you know, W-E-I-G-H-T. You know, the atmosphere, the analema 8, it's all, they can never escape this truth. Height and weight is like the same thing. It's like time and distance to give you area, space. You see what I'm saying? They can never escape that triangle, Mount Meru. They can never. That's an electricity.
Looking at this video,
now this dude here, he's explaining seasons on a globe, and I want y'all to check him out, right? Check him out. Just check him out real quick, because I'm gonna play it fast so he can show you real quick the main part, and then we finna debunk it together and stuff. This gonna debunk, and it's gonna show them what they're doing with the sky. The earth ain't moving, but they taking what the sky doing and translating it to rotation. You see, so
distance is 93 million miles.
That base isn't moving.
And we have heard, and we know that light travels very fast.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can hear
if the globe's spinning, wouldn't the compasses be changing on your, like if I'm sitting in Atlanta and at nighttime that it's staying south, it should be staying east or something. If we spinning, right? If we turning, shouldn't my compass be changing course if we spinning around? Or that don't make sense?
Compass isn't moving. You're holding.
No, I'm saying if I start moving with my compass, if I start going north, it's going north. I go west, I'm going west. So if we spinning around, ain't the west going to be on the east and the east going to be on the west if the globe moving and changing directions? Or no?
Nah, you're right. And think about this. They would have to have a set point in so-called space to even give you direction. The set point is from Earth. Earth is always the middle, the main aspect of it all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, exactly.
No, I definitely see what you're saying. Just like the word Arctic and Antarctic.
Right.
Even with this guy, bro, has hair, he's tilting the globe towards the so-called sun, the lamp, which means that the Arctic wouldn't be frozen. You know what I'm saying? Like, but see, this shit a lot. Go ahead, bro.
I want you to check him out real quick. Hold on.
But it's so far away that the light leaving the sun takes 8 minutes. Even at super fast speed, to get to the Earth. 8 minutes. So if there's something happening on the sun, it goes blip. We don't see it for 8 minutes. That's how long it takes. So anyway, we've got 365 spins. We've got one orbit around the sun, and that's 1 year. Now, the thing about the Earth is it's spinning. And when you've probably seen this, when you watch the sun go down, right? Or you've seen the moon come up, and you think, well, it's kind of slow. You know, it seems to just barely move. But you look a little later, oh, it's moved. And you come back a little, it's moved a little bit further, right? It seems awful slow. The fact of the matter is, the Earth is spinning at about 1,000 miles an hour. So you standing on Earth right now, even though you're just standing still, you're traveling 1,000 miles an hour right now, very fast. So that spin, even though it's such a big world that 1,000 miles an hour is, takes a while, but it's a big Earth. So it's spinning, and because of that spin, it always has. You see this point here and here. It always stays the same. It doesn't rotate through space like this. It just always stays the same because it's spinning. And interestingly,
now I want y'all to think about what he just said, right? Think about all of this stuff happened from the Big Bang. and it's making perfect 360-degree turns. It's not tumbling, jumbling around through space. It's on perfect astral point, perfect math from a random Big Bang. They never stop to think about that. They will show you asteroids tumbling, flipping, and tumbling around randomly, but yet all the planets and all that doing perfect sacred geometric patterns, doing what the zodiac wheel doing. That's crazy.
That is
Enough.
crazy. And look, bro, look at the equator line while he's doing this. All my people in the chat and on the panel.
Oh yeah, that's
that's
how you debunk it. Cause look what happens, right? They got the switch in between tilt and no tilt to make their arguments.
All of us right now should be getting speeding tickets because we're going 1,000 miles per hour.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna show you what I mean.
This is where we come to the reason for the seasons. The Earth, in relation to the sun, is not.
Look at that equator. Like you said, and what are we looking at, awakening minds?
Right now he has the equator kind of straight, but once he start depicting the rotation and the tilt to go with their math, it doesn't make sense of what we experience in nature. You know what I'm saying?
It's uneven too.
Uh-huh.
Watch this.
Exactly lined up, where the middle of the Earth is directly across from the At this point, it's like this. That angle is the relationship to the sun. And because the Earth is spinning, the angle always stays the same, no matter where it is in its orbit. At this point, it's here. At this point, it's like this. See that? And at this point, it's here. It's always the same. It never changes. Never. Always the same.
So you see where the light at is in the so-called northern hemisphere. Then when he moves the globe around,
here, that angle stays the
you
same.
get,
and that's what
you
causes
get the
seasons.
light in the southern.
Here's the sun, and it's full of light and heat, a lot of radiation. Now, you see, when the sun is pointed right here, this is the most direct line from the sun to the Earth. And the most direct radiation creates the most heat. Now, when it's less direct, it's less heat. So up here, at the North Pole, for example, this is the North Pole, the light is not so direct, and so it's a little cooler. And down here also, it's a little cooler. It's only the hottest light here, and then as you go here, it's cooler, 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 and cooler, cooler, cooler. It's always the hottest here. So let's say here you are in Europe. Well, it's hottest in Europe, but down in the bottom of South America, it's the coolest. It's the hottest in America, but it's cooler in Australia, just because of that angle, and it's always the same, right? So
it's so funny. Hold on,
this part of the world, which is above that line.
They're saying that the Earth is 93 million miles from the sun, so he thinks that a couple of thousand miles makes that much of a difference in temperature.
Come on,
no,
man.
moving it up and down, make it curve. Tilting it up and down makes it different. That's dumb.
He's saying that the equator is hotter because it's closer to the sun, but let's not forget they tell us we're 93 million miles away from the sun. Yeah. So I don't think that could be the answer. That's laughable.
On top of pitch black darkness, and then being light moving all the way from there, but it's dark everywhere else.
Because in order for just the northern hemisphere to get the most sunlight during a certain time, it's proven a close local sun, which is why he got the globe so close to the sun. It's an inaccurate comparison for real.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that light is lighting this whole room up.
And because they hold up. It's because on their model, right, they got the whole side of the globe lit up evenly because it's parallel rays for the sun that's far back. But on this model, nope, the sun just perfectly is more prevalent in the northern now versus the whole side lit up. That's what I'm saying. They really double talking with this seasons thing.
Right,
now I can explain it's so simple on a flat earth model.
Big facts. And just imagine rotating around something that's 93 million miles away. How the fuck you do that in 300 and so-called 65 days? It's 93 miles away. You
Sanchez, also show them the image of the international time zone, because that'll again make you laugh at this model of a ball. The international time zone. Just type in, because it's not a straight line. And if it was a ball like that model they're showing, the sun would be a straight line. Let's see. Look at these maps. Look at them. They ain't even straight lines, are they?
They call this the landscape view. Scale view. Like, that's crazy.
How could you, if it's a ball spinning, it should all just be straight lines. From north to south, it should be all straight lines. How on a ball could you have this? This is impossible.
Time zones don't even match up on that model right here.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
can't be on a ball and
That's
have
facts, right? Hey, this
straight lines.
yeah,
You should have.
This straight debunk time zones on their model right here.
it
They telling
debunks
on
Right,
themselves.
for real.
Exactly.
straight up debunks time zones on their model.
And guess what they never show on these
Yeah.
pictures? Antarctica or the Arctic. They can never do that. You know what I'm saying? Because these ridges are showing the bigger spiral and the smaller spiral, but they will never show you Antarctica and the Arctic on this
A good
type of
point.
model, on the
Oh man.
landscape
They
model.
saying that,
Mhm.
and right here they got the Midwest and the East Coast on the same time zone. They're not even on the same time zone. That don't even make sense. Chicago and New York is not on the same time zone, so why they in the same zone right here? They just debunked themselves right here again.
Look at that little island up there. They got a big old square in between it, right below Greenland. You see that little?
Exactly.
What
Come
kind of
on.
shapes is this anyway?
That's
What is
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. On a ball, they gotta be straight lines. Period. There's no way around it, ballers.
And now if you pull up the flat Earth model on this, you can explain it so much simpler than this. You know, you see where they have the meridian and the equator line?
Let's
Like,
we 1, 2, 3. That wasn't even 24 time zones on that one just now.
so if you look where the equator is and that line, it explains it perfectly. They can, first of all, the concept of a clock, compass, it all comes from understanding what the flat Earth model is, you know, literally. And a lot of this shit right here is just political. And then the fact that they call it the Green Witch time zone, you know, the Green Witch time zone model. Green Witch.
You saying what? The
Is
Wizard of Oz?
that 25 blocks right there? So it's 25 time zones now? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's
Yeah,
25 time zones right there.
they're trying to show that the first and the last are the same, kind of, but it's still look at how they're jetting out, like you said, or that square around that island. But now you see all the way to the right where it
This
says
is
this.
crazy as fuck right
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
And-
Where's that right there, Sanchez? What is that?
Yeah, I
It's
wonder
right.
what that is.
It's right below Greenland. Yeah, let's see what
That might be what,
island
like
is.
Ireland, maybe, or
Nah,
or Scotland?
Ireland
Let
would
me
be
ask
part
Chat GPT, what's the little island below Greenland?
of.
Tanzania. Something, I don't know.
That's Iceland. Is it? No,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Iceland.
Yeah,
Yeah, right below Greenland.
But then it makes me go back to the Diomede Islands thing. Like
yes,
the globe is spinning at a gradual rotation. It ain't speeding up or slowing down. But like, if you think of a rotisserie chicken, when that thing looped back around to where it started at, they calling that this what was it called? The international time.
yeah.
So but my thing is
International
like
Dateline.
right? So but it's 2 miles.
Yep.
It's
Right.
two miles, but it's changing 24 hours in 2 mile difference. Like I really want to exploit that to show how this really messes the globe up, man. Like
Yep. It's Diomede, Diomede. Diomede Island.
Good point, Sanchez. 2 miles.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
that
Which means
is yeah, man. Like
the 24-hour sun would debunk a so-called globe theory. And I'll go
Ain't-
to bat with anybody with that.
These
it's
2.4
mathematically
miles.
like does the globe start speeding up its rotation to because what they're gonna say, well, when it's just don't matter. It's confusing me trying to make it make sense on a model now that I just think about this shit. Like it's crazy though.
It can't work on their model.
You know what they say, bro? They say it goes faster at the equator, just from their formula of mass and, you know, rotation and speed and all of that. But yeah, if you have one object and you're rotating at an equal value of 1,000 miles per hour, how is the equator going faster than the rest of the object? You see what I'm saying? They
Good
should be
point.
so fucking stupid. Like if I have a tennis ball in my hand and I'm rotating at the equal value of 1,000 miles per hour, how is the equator point going faster than the top or the bottom point? But this is where they get fucked up by their formulas, which doesn't explain any. And Nikola Tesla said this, you know, like the mathematics of today, it doesn't explain reality. You know what I mean? It's just equations after equations that leads to nothing. You know what I mean? And of course, Tesla knew this type of shit. I mean, and we can go in with Tesla, but from a lot of his inventions and shit like that, he had to know the correct shape of Earth. I don't care what nobody says. You know what I'm saying? This is me. This is how I feel. But and it goes into who is Tesla? Was he a puppet? Was he used to do that? You know, I don't even want to go that far. I just want to get back to the point of how can you have one single object rotating at an equal value of 1,000 miles per hour, but yet saying the equator is rotating fast? Because that's what what's his FTE be saying? Oh no, at the equator it rotates faster. Go ahead though, bro.
But and that's stupid. It also is crazy because they saying it's rotating 360 degrees in 24 hours, 15 degrees of longitude an hour. But like that's where the whole Diomede Island thing debunked they numbers right there. You know, because that's just crazy that and I'm trying to articulate this in another way too. I'm just sinking it in right now, but that's what my mind at, like what's going on with this loop around point where the 24 hours is resetting right here. But for that to happen on a globe model, you can't have the Earth rotating an even 15 degree of longitude an hour because some funny got to happen for this crossover for you to 2 miles with 21 hours difference. That does not go with a 24 hours with 15 degree per hour.
Not
Right.
possible. But
And
a
you know what
wormhole.
they'll say? They'll say, well, that's why it's tilted. Like
And it's
that
locked. It's
changed the
locked in.
rotation.
It's
Right?
locked
They'll
in.
say, yeah, but it's tilted. How can it be locked? It makes no sense when you really break it down mathematically, and you understand that their formula was already bullshit. You
And they
know?
be talking like
Yeah.
they know, like just like I seen a video the other day when a kid asked Neil deGrasse Tyson, he was like, so 4.2 million miles away is a dwarf star, and the dwarf star is the closest to the sun. So why is the gravity pulling, like why Mercury ain't getting pulled on, like how the dwarf star not getting pulled on? He was like, that's a great question. And he started talking about how stuff locked in. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, that shit was so crazy. Like, you really hear him talking like that don't even make sense what he's saying. And everybody looking like, oh yeah, because that's so smart. I'm like, that shit don't make no sense. Y'all
Hey, check
serious right
this
now?
out. Check this out, Redden. They'll say that the space station is going faster than the rotation of the Earth, but yet it's locked into the Earth atmosphere. But
Right. That don't make no
it's
sense.
going
Yeah.
faster than what's the
Yeah.
miles it's
Why,
going? It's
why
going for
Mercury ain't, if
100,000
Mercury the
something.
closest to the sun, why Mercury ain't getting pulled in by the sun gravitational pull? Because Mercury is locked in by the other, like, come on, man, stop, man.
They
They
love
got the
that
That don't
double
even
word.
make
talk.
no sense.
They
They
got to,
definitely got
man.
double
What,
talk.
what locked in mean? Cause y'all playing me what locked in mean? What does this locked in stuff mean? Cause
They
it's locked
say
in.
they I remember they said that the moon is drifting away from Earth. Then they turned around and said the moon is getting closer to Earth every year. Like, which one is it?
Double
And then a
talking at its
couple
finest.
years ago, they said the moon. Oh, it's in our atmosphere.
Yeah,
The outer
man.
space, the
Just like
outer space atmosphere. That's the double talk, bro. They say
just,
it's in the outer space atmosphere. Like, huh?
just like you can't right now, you can't even Google the circumference of no continent no more. But like 7 months ago, before we were doing them debates, you can type in what's the circumference of this country, what's the circumference of this country. They'll give you the number. Now they'll tell you, oh, it's no definitive. They can't even tell you now. It's like that's crazy. Now, they going back on their word because we win in debates and it don't make no sense.
Oh, they be
And you know,
changing stuff too. They
Right,
change it in
literally.
real time.
I couldn't believe it. I really saw it from my own side. Like, wow, I couldn't believe that.
I know for a fact that Flat Earth made them say clouds ain't gas, they water vapors. They used to
right,
teach it was
bro.
gas.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You right.
Even
You right.
what's his
Sanchez.
name? Even FT Craig tried to bring that up. Oh, it's water. I'm like, huh? I thought the clouds were a process. Like
And,
he's like,
and
it's water.
I need a Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny, it's somebody that I want to debate, man, and I think you can set it up, man.
Who you want?
I want the Mudfusser University guy, Mudfusser guy. Listen,
Okay. Yeah, Roger. I got his phone
listen,
number.
Vinny, I'm gonna be honest with you. Petrified dragons, petrified. Do I need
Body
to be more
parts.
open-minded, Vinny? Because I'm saying this may be a hit piece on Flat Earth to not take us serious about everything else, but I don't know, man.
Well, he's definitely not a flat earther, Roger.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No, he's
that's
actually
good to
like
know.
way against it. So I never bring
That
it up to him
explains
because
it
he gets
all.
defensive. Yeah.
And he
A
believes in
petrified big toe.
fossils. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And you got a lot of flat earthers that follow him though with the petrified stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
don't know why
if
they
you bring
do
it up,
Yeah.
he gets all crazy. So I don't even bring it up to him. You know, some people just, this information ain't for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring it up to him. But I will say that Eric Dubé did a good job of debunking fossilization, and it ain't no form or process of fossilization that I think got legs under it, but I'm willing to be open-minded. I know that's kind of straying away from the flat earth topic, but it's so many flat earthers on that wave that I just brought it up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, salutes.
Yeah, I'll definitely reach out and see if I could set that up for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the subject gonna be, Sanchez?
It's the process of mud fossilization legit. And the reason I would like that to be the subject is because I don't think he agree with the dinosaur fossils. I think Roger says that the original fossils they teach us about is phony baloney, but he has his own theory about petrified stones or whatever, his form of fossilization. And I'm standing at a point where there's no legit way to explain how biological organic material can just turn into a metamorphic rock or sedimentary rock or amethyst stone, or you know what I'm saying?
Right. There's no type of weather or circumstances for that to happen. Like, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, meltology debunks that whole fucking giant type.
Here we go. Here we go. This meltology stuff.
Meltology.
I've done a
He couldn't
lot.
wait
I
for you
did a
to say
lot
that.
with
So he
that
was so
too.
happy.
I'm glad we got Vinny up here for this meltology thing, man.
You remember Jerry, right? Crazy
Yeah, I
Jerry.
remember Jerry.
And
Karen was on his
yeah.
head. Yeah.
Meltology's dope, but it takes time to understand it. You gotta watch those videos for a minute. The Tartarian Meltdown is a great channel with good documentaries to get you started. Tartarian Meltdown.
How much time it take for you to understand something?
Well, I'm a genius, so I'm intuitive. So
How much time it take for you to understand up is up and down is down?
Let me do one favor. Let me give a shout out to my brother Jay Scaramella. Thank you for the super chat. Says Samoa is only 50 miles from America, but Samoa, they have a 24-hour time difference than America with only 50 miles. That's like me driving to, what's 50 miles from Las Vegas? Let me see. And it's 24 hours. Let me see. What's 50 miles? Cities. 50
That's definitely
miles
less than an hour too.
from Vegas. So that's like me driving from fucking Las Vegas just to the north side, y'all, to North Las Vegas, and it's a 24-hour difference. Damn. Bro, are you serious? Wait a minute, bro.
Yeah, this is one of our big sledgehammers we got to hit them with, man.
Damn.
This one's big to me.
Like, I'm not even driving out to Cali and then this just right North Las Vegas in 24 hours. Oh yeah, that debunks it all day, bro.
Yeah, have them try to answer that and it's done. The debate's done. Just stop them with that.
Oh man, I would love to hear Craig try to explain that one. Oh man, that's crazy.
Hey,
That
Vinny.
one, yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad, bro. Vinny, I heard you brought up on that Will Smith documentary,
yeah,
the pole to pole. I did watch that like a week and a half ago, and they just kept bringing up how Antarctica is a glacier. Like they kept, I
yeah.
mean,
It's a
for my
desert.
reason, I know why, but he kept bringing that shit up. Antarctica is a glacier. Not just him, but just the whole,
And
Yeah,
why
the
the
they
whole,
want
narrative
it
they
to be
push.
a glacier so bad?
bro, it's because we getting closer and closer to truth,
Mm, that's
but
facts.
that was
What time is it over
interesting.
there right now, Sanchez?
It's 2:36 where I'm at right now.
It's 2:36.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it 3:36 in Phoenix? How far Phoenix is from you?
Phoenix is like 3 hours, 3. Let me see how many hours exactly.
Well, in
Because it's
Phoenix, they be
3:36 in Phoenix right now,
well,
and it's
and
5:36 on the East Coast where I'm at. So Phoenix is
well,
2 hours. I thought
It's
every
Renton,
Phoenix
hold
is
on,
Phoenix 5 hours away. That's even
but
crazier though.
that is
uh-huh.
crazy. Like
But a
how
lot of it, this is what I was saying, a lot of it be political, because even in Phoenix, sometimes depending if it's a leap year, they'll say that, from the East Coast to Phoenix, it could be 3 hours depending on the year during the leap year.
exactly? That's why
And
because
then
me and Thing was
another
talking about that.
year, when it's not a leap year, there'll be 2 hours. So like this
Right.
year, we're not in a leap year, the February ends
Mm,
on the 28th. So
That's
Phoenix
weird.
will be 2 hours. Now, a lot of it is political, but
mm.
it just even that destroys their whole globe earth theory, globe
Yeah,
shit
man.
theory,
Like,
but
what's the point of us saying numbers and doing with all that if it ain't that's concrete,
That's crazy. Right.
Dang, that's crazy. So think about this. I can have a 1 hour time difference from a city that's 5 hours away from me, yet I can go to the north side of Las Vegas and it can be a whole 24-hour difference on this earth. That's crazy.
Yep. It's a big problem for their model.
And to me, it's a problem for the flat earth model too, not because we can't explain it, it's because we ain't ready to talk about portals yet.
Yeah, good point. It's the only thing that makes
Sanchez.
sense to me for years is it has to be some type of portal or I like the term you use too, like wormhole, because people are familiar with that. So
I feel like we on
Mm-hmm.
small portals right now while we talking on FaceTime. When you call somebody on a FaceTime call, I can wave my hand and you can see everything I'm doing in real time. And you
yeah,
somewhere else, but we just can't walk through it yet. They got stuff in different malls now. When you walk in the mall, you can see somebody from a different side of the world, and y'all can just be talking to each other in real time,
You know what, brother?
waving at each other.
And one thing I'll point out, there's some stuff about the sky and the stars on flat earth that's universal truth, and we're gonna always be able to prove it and use it for navigation as concrete. But there is some mysteries to the sky that we won't be able to understand until we kind of open our mind a little bit and also get back with this Enoch knowledge. Like, I'm gonna reread the whole book for real.
I
Can I
got
ask
the
yeah,
chart
Ken a
too.
or at
question?
least
I'm about to put the chart in the chat, the Enoch Gate chart. I got it right here in my book. I'm about to put it on the chat.
Well, I want to
nice.
ask y'all a
It's dope.
question. So the
hey,
guy just
Reese,
gave an example about how you can show somebody an image on FaceTime and they'll be on the other side of the world, right? Can anybody up here explain how the information gets there? Because that image is information. How does it get there?
Because it's traveling through a
The
medium
ether,
called a wave.
ether.
It's called a
Ether.
wave. Everything has a medium. That's how waves travel.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't maintain its form, and you don't see it make its journey. So you could conceptualize, what I'm saying, portals just by looking at it that way.
I'm
Yeah,
watching you
good
right
point.
now on the portal. I just can't walk through it. I'm
you
watching you move
see,
your hand right
see,
now, your phone right
see,
now.
a wave is also information that's broken down in packets. So you can have AV, audio or visual. You can have speech through it. It's literally broken down like the goddamn zodiac symbol as well. You know, I'm in an elevator, so I really want to touch more on this, what a wave is. Because
So we can call our phones little
I'm
stargates,
gonna
right?
hit y'all right back. I'm gonna hit y'all right back.
Somebody said Professor Dave is talking about me. I'm flattered. Let me tell. So what you're telling me is that Craig wanted to run him a little hit piece for Professor Dave. I'm willing to debate Professor Dave. He ain't got to live through Craig's work, you know. If that's what I don't know what he doing, but yeah, I'll check it out
What are
later.
you saying about you?
I
Must
don't
be
know.
something good.
Somebody in the chat said that, but I didn't verify. I'll go to his page right quick. But yeah, salutes to the panel.
Hey, Vinny, I want to tell you real fast. Jerry's an idiot because he messed up on his documentary because he started talking about how the continents and the islands are melted structures right away at the beginning. That's how he fucked up. Nobody can understand that shit. He should have
Yeah.
stuck to just showing
I
the
don't
bridge.
I don't want to hear from Jerry until he debate his old videos.
And that's
Until he
why
prove his old stuff wrong, I don't want to hear nothing about Jerry.
and that's why I verify stuff before I, accept it, because I don't see nothing where Professor Dave talking about me, and that's why I don't get excited about stuff, because I ain't gonna lie, that would have been pretty good for the community. Like, if that'll be the first steps for like a debate,
Yeah.
I think the reason why they don't really talk, my personal opinion, why he probably don't talk about you, because they're more religious with their flat earth. So they try to use the Bible to explain flat earth and Jesus and the devil, and you talk again, how you talk about Jesus, you know what I'm saying? So that really kind of goes against what they saying a little bit. So that's probably why there's a conflict of interest of them bringing you up.
And it's weird that Professor Dave won't talk about me. But guess what? What I would like for him, what'll happen is, arrange some kind of debate, because what they did with Lord Jamar was kind of, in my opinion, it was dishonest and all that, because they know the people in the community who want the smoke and all that. And they know Lord Jamar is just like, he's a MC, he's a legend. He ain't gotta be debating flat earth. He just there to make people think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
There is a difference.
I wish he had called you so bad right there on that spot, man. He just called. Don't worry about it. I got somebody who can explain it for me and call your number. That's what I would have did. If I can't explain something, I'm gonna call the people I know that can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why
That's
would you
just
embarrass yourself? And because everybody, like you said, everybody can't articulate that as good as
right.
well as some people. But they
But
know
they
what they
doing
see
that
that's true.
They doing that on purpose, Red, because they did the same thing. Like, they're now spending more time responding to Kim Kardashian about the moon missions than the real ones who they know got the smoke for it. So they know what to do. They will frame their own fight in a way that where they ducking the people they know who got the stuff. Like, if I was in front of Professor Dave asking him these time zone questions, it'll be embarrassing.
I agree.
Earther, but you can't mess with Bro Sanchez, Flat Power.
Not at all. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I
And
done
we
seen
might
him.
set it up. Vanny can work miracles, so we never know. It ain't none of this stuff off the table.
I done seen Professor Dave make one good point on the beyond and above and beyond point. That's about it. But I don't think he really can have a good point with debating you at all, because I don't think it'll ruin him, but it'll probably slow his traction down a little bit. That's why they stay away from you, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you really be on it, and people can really resonate with what you're saying. Like, damn, that do make sense. Because you deal with Occam's razor. And I try to be the same way. I try to do stuff to explain it to where as a third grader can understand it. It ain't got to be that complex. That's how nature was made. When you go outside, you see certain fruits. The fruits was made for the red fruits for your blood. This color fruit, the green ones for your digestive system. That's just comments, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard.
Not at all. And guys, the video you need to pull up is called U.S. Army Training Video Proves the True Shape of the Earth. And Vinny, can you give them a brief rundown of how this video and the Army proves the true shape of the earth before they watch it, spoil it for them anyway. It's about the knowledge, and give them a little rundown.
Yeah, I said a little bit in the beginning about
Right.
how they have to have a map to grid positions, just like if you got
Yeah.
the army or you going to war or something, or traveling in a plane or something. So the first 20 minutes is a US Army training video breaking down how they create this grid system, how they give locations. And it is based on a UTM map, and it's a square like he's showing right there. That is what the US military uses to do positioning. So it'll say, you know, like 14 M08, and they'll be able to tell exactly where this spot is. And it's used on a square flat plane. And it's
Mhm.
also made to scale, which I, point out on the video that the only maps that are scale are these, a UTM, a square map. So yeah,
Where
that's how the
Yeah.
video starts off. And then the next 30, 40 minutes is going into my the Book of Enoch model and trying to explain some of that.
Yeah, because once you, and I'm gonna fall back. Once you cover the sphere with this grid, you can't have equal squares all the way over, because at the top the squares would distort, but yet they keep them equally on these maps no matter where you are, disregarding what they showed. So I was just wanted to show people that.
Where do they say 0 degrees at on a globe at anyway? Where is 0
So,
degrees on the globe?
you should have 2 0 degrees,
Yeah,
one
it
at the
should be
top,
the
one at,
poles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird too that you would have 2 of them.
Right.
Because
I'm about to say.
what does a compass do when we get to the ice ring? The same thing it do in the middle. It start to just kind of spin around crazy, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say. Because of the magnetic fields, right?
So looking
Yeah.
at
Hi,
that map, you see that
Sanchez.
those aren't perfect squares. They get thinner at the top, but this is,
Yeah.
so that's fake. That's not what they use, but they
Right.
promote it because they want you to believe you're on a ball.
Mhm.
And that army training video, they're perfect squares, and that's what they use in reality. So it can't be a ball. We can't be on a globe.
And what's crazy is what's really silly about it. This globe coordinate system is more applicable of how we map the sky from Polaris and the atmosphere and the firmament dome, which is why when you look at the moss and all that, like, look at the moss. They showing you how that pattern we talking about, that's true for like how we would, but that's perspective though. That's how that's like your eyeball
Yep.
doing vanishing point.
Exactly. Well said. It looks like it's curving.
Yeah. So it ain't cause like you said, the sky is a plane, but we make it a dome with perspective.
Yeah, just like, we think the bird looks like it's going down, the sun looks like it's going down, but we know it's not going down, it's just getting further away. So it
Yeah.
looks like it's curving. The boat going over the water, right? The ball is left to push. That's proof it's a curve, but we know it's just perspective. And
I had get glasses, and they said that my eyes are curved. That's why my sight went bad. I'm like, my eyes have curvature. What?
Yeah.
I thought all our eyes do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, another thing is like shooting a azimuth, like the azimuth points and stuff. It's crazy because the AE map is basically the azimuth equidistant map. And to me, maybe I'm playing a semantic game, but azimuths don't work on a globe model either.
No, does it?
I know we just being picking around every little thing, but yeah. I'm gonna watch this whole video because like I always said, pilots should have a globe in that cockpit. That map is dangerous, man, if we're on a globe.
Yep.
I never saw any of that on a military jet. So
Hey,
Yeah.
Sanchez, can y'all hear me?
Here go a good point. This is what I was saying, how we see the sky based on perspective, just like that golden dome. You see how the stars are doing? Yeah, but yeah, we can hear you, whoever that is.
I always wanted to ask y'all a question. You know how you show us that subtle energy thing with the pyramid? That
Yeah.
picture you always show. What
Uh-huh.
if I could probably try to show you what it looks like in the sky if you pull up the right YouTube video?
You mean a real version of that? Okay, yeah. What you want me to type
Yeah,
in? I'll pull it up.
if you type it in on YouTube, just type in star trails looking at the equator. But it's got to be a video.
I know what you talking about. I know what
It's
you
got to
talking
be
about,
a
bro.
video from a guy named Mateo.
But it's basically this right here, right?
Well, that's a bad one. If you look up
Okay,
That's
I
the
from the
got you.
guy's
north and
channel,
south.
right, hold up,
Starlight. Starlight.
He said
right
he
there.
gonna. What else to type in the name of it? That's gonna get me to the right one.
I know the dude's channel is Mateo. If you type that in behind me,
Mateo.
you might get it.
Here we go.
Yeah, that first one.
I
Yeah,
found
yeah.
him.
And look how it's got NES, like Nintendo Entertainment System. And then if you look in the middle, you can see the green stripes and the blue stripes, like it's energy.
You know, that's funny. That's basically what I use in my video too, is showing that. And this is a problem for the ball, no doubt. And
But watch this thing make energy. Watch it literally make energy
Hey,
when it speeds it up.
and I want both of y'all to volleyball this to show how this a problem for the globe too. Yeah, this.
Well, he gonna take the stuff from the bottom away, and yet it's gonna literally look like an energy device.
They look like our flight video. The
Now,
Paris flight video.
this is us watching the sky at the equator. You say?
yes,
That's what it's saying.
Okay,
If you look
got
at
you.
the screen, it's got at the equator. Then you
North
got
south
NES.
equator. Got you.
Yeah, that reminds me of Nintendo Entertainment
So,
System.
and they try to say, well, there go your Coriolis effect.
Yep. And they do have a video of the Amelina thing that y'all was talking about, but I don't know
Now,
nothing about that.
I'm
Really,
gonna be honest with y'all. The globe Earth will explain this by saying, fuck, what will a globalist say to
they
to
try to
explain
say
this
the
shit?
south.
Yeah.
They try to say the south. You at the bottom of the ball, and everything's spinning the
yeah,
other
they're trying to
direction.
say this proves with two poles. And
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a comeback for that in that video. So to me, actually, wherever you are on a ball, it would be perspective. You should see this view, but you don't.
But what they
So
try to say is when they say in the northern hemisphere, the navel is at the bottom, and then the southern hemisphere, the navel of the moon is at the top. But in reality, if I get a picture and put it on top of the wall, if I stand on the other side, I'm gonna be on the opposite. Period. That don't got nothing to do with me being nothing moving or me being at the bottom of something. If I put a picture on the wall and straight up ahead over my head, and I stand in front of it from one side, and I walk across the room and look on the other side, it's gonna be the same way how they explain it in the navel of the moon, but they try to say that makes the globe right, or the north and south hemisphere, but it don't make no sense. But what I'm saying make more sense, because you can actually do it in your house and really recreate it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm trying to build up me a new set of debate topics for my next opponent, but I want to perfect them and be thorough.
check
They
my
said-
We
video.
talking about the north hemisphere and the south
Vinny B,
hemisphere,
that's
right?
most definitely. Vinny, you gave
I
me a
touched on
dagger
this.
already with the time
The time
zone.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually touch on this too.
This video right here is doing the same thing that a disco ball do.
Yep. Show damn is.
Don't forget them flight videos too, Sanchez. That's to prove that debunks them too. The flight videos from Seoul to Paris and all that stuff like that, or them chasing them, following the sun, and then when they going back from west to east, the sun comes towards them. So
Now,
if you bring those videos up, they don't got nothing to say about them.
all right, so look, I'm on a globe, right? Let's just say we're on a globe, right? Written. And I'm standing at the equator right now. Let's make this video on a globe. I'm looking to my left. There go the North Star. Of course, is heading by the horizon or is under the curve or whatever. The South Star on my right. I'm standing dead on the equator. I'm looking up. I'm seeing this because of the Earth spinning. Right? So my whole thing is how with this, I'm trying to picture it on both models because I'm on a flat Earth standing on the equator now. I'm seeing the sun, seeing the sky rotate, boom, boom, boom. And what I'm trying to figure out with this footage right here is if I wanted to formulate an argument to say why this video footage work best on me standing on a flat Earth looking up at the equator versus a spinning globe, what would be a good way to articulate that?
Watch my video, bro. Actually, like I said, I got a whole section dedicated to this.
Okay,
On
I
that
got you.
US Army video. Later on it goes because on that we actually have a point to show how they couldn't work on a ball.
Yeah,
So it's perfect. It's perfect for what you need.
I'm gonna break your video. I'm gonna actually dissect it, and that's gonna be a lot of my next arguing points for my big debate and stuff, man. I appreciate y'all because it ain't, I collect all this stuff, man. These think tanks right here is how I arm up for battle.
Yeah, and that's why we appreciate you, man. I appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate y'all for real. Hell yeah. And we
Yeah,
undefeated.
Sanchez,
And don't forget the Guidestone thing that they brought up too. The Georgia Guidestone.
Oh yeah.
Point. Remember that?
That's why they tore up the Guidestone. Somebody who brought that up the other day. That's big.
I don't remember
facts.
who that was, but they did bring it up. I forgot who it was. But
Hell
that was
yeah,
a good point.
bro. What would it take to remake all you gotta do is put any kind of marker in an open area, and at some point you would have the sun line over it, the moon, or you would. Well, actually, no, I'm tripping because those were in specific places so that Polaris would be above them.
The Georgia Guidestones did have a Polaris marker on it. You could always see Polaris.
That's flat Earth stuff that just debunked. It makes me wonder, did we even build them, or did we rebuild them or renovate them from the old world type shit?
I remember way back in the day, this guy was making stones, and then he moved, and they got bought up, and then he got Freemasons ever bought that up, and then they just brought it over. That was like the main story.
And think about the structures that they built. If we move it through space, how is the Orion Belt lining up every couple of years with the same structures on the ground?
Watch this, Retton.
Yeah, you're right. You can't have an expanding universe and everything stay in place forever.
Come on, man. That's it,
impossible.
Vinny. And you know what's crazy about what y'all saying? When I debated FTFE, remember now, I brought up the Giza and Orion alignments, and he never said nothing about that. He said something. He never even responded to the alignment argument in the debate. I'm gonna actually spend a lot of time on that in the future with him.
Don't the universe go on forever? How does forever expand anyway?
Yeah, well, they make it like the explosion and everything's expanding and getting further away. But you couldn't have all these constellations staying the same for thousands of years.
They wouldn't stay the same for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, because it debunks this model that I'm about to show now. Because they give us this perfect little DNA strand, but this solar system circle should be spreading wider. Like these circles that we see in the solar system, each year we should be able to say, okay, Mercury is just like an inch away now. It's moving an inch every year. Like, give me some kind of numbers by year where I can see the gradual progression of the expansion. It don't exist.
All the stars should have been out of view by now. Sky should be completely dark.
You know, if they give us any
Agreed.
numbers on this expanding rate, we'll use it to debunk them, which is why I don't think, do they exist?
No, I haven't seen anything.
They use ridiculous numbers, just like saying that the sun is 93 million miles
Okay,
away.
that,
They
that,
use
get
these-
that game.
4.2.5 million way. The dwarf star is 4.2 million miles away. Yep, 4.2.
And that's what they
it.
do. That's what
Yeah.
they see. They
light
say,
years.
yeah, yo, it's happening, but it's taking it so long. We'll never be able to
Exactly.
detect it. Right.
They
That's
said
how
they-
They just came out with a picture of Pluto saying that Pluto got an ice mountain. It took them 9 years to get there. So they're traveling not light years or 9 years. Which one is it?
Man, come
Hey,
on,
I gotta
and like, yeah, like
me out,
the
Sanchez.
James Webb Telescope sending back these beautiful images in like a minute, a second. That's far
Yeah,
as hell.
great.
You go ahead, Reese. My bad.
What I wanted to say was, ever since I've been a flat earther, I can't get away from it, right? I can't think about nothing else. So everything I see, I look for the flat earth in it. When you watch, if you pay attention, when you watch nature documentaries, there'd be a lot of little flat earth clues and gems in there a lot of people don't realize. Like, for example, they'll show some zoom footage of the sun going away, to speed up the scene or something, and you'll literally see the sun get much, much, much smaller and take its light with it, and all kinds of stuff, and it's real clear in those old documentaries.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep, that's facts. Yeah, I think 3-Eye Atlas should have been a red flag for globalists, and it lets me know it made up my mind that, okay, this is a religion and these folks don't want to see the truth, because the fact we couldn't get no real-time footage, and we had 2-3 opportunities. We had one when it passed the sun, and y'all know we got cameras right now giving us real-time footage of the sun right now in HD. But we missed 3-Eye Atlas. Same thing with Mars. Missed it there. Then it passed by the Earth. We didn't get it with no Earth-based observatory. It's like this was a historic moment in science, and we missed it. It lets me know.
They don't want the scrutiny.
Because the defense, and it's
Yep.
an international defense system that they have to look at space to
Right.
shoot down any asteroid. So on the
Right.
day when 3-Eye Atlas passed, it was closed. It
Yeah.
was closed that day,
Because
right?
the government shut down. It literally was closed. They had that
That's what
like
they said,
convenient.
like-
Yeah.
But how y'all gonna protect us from asteroids? Y'all supposed to never leave there. If
Think
y'all
about
looking at-
so you telling me during a government shutdown we turning off defense equipment? That's bananas. That's like me and
When you
my
put it like that.
girlfriend arguing, so we turning off the surveillance system in the house.
And leave the locks open and the door
Right,
open.
right. While we argue, god damn,
That's crazy.
tell us anything.
Wow. How do y'all feel about like knowing that the 90% of the people don't have the mental capacity to like get past what that bothers me, yo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That leaves us in a state of loneliness almost.
yeah, it does.
Agreed.
But what don't make no sense is how they always talk about, well, see, you're tiny compared to how big the Earth is, but they give us the circumference of the Earth. That don't even make sense. How big is it?
And that is
So
crazy.
it's so big,
bro.
but y'all got the number. But you telling me 3 miles from the beach, I'm gonna stand on the beach, and 3 miles away from the beach where the horizon line at, that's where the curvature at? That's not
Right.
big.
The Earth's
Yeah,
so
y'all-
damn big, you can't feel it when it's spinning, but yet that boat up there just went over the curve.
Right, and that's 3 miles away.
I told you, according to them, we can run over the curve. I did it before. You can run over the curve.
It's so big, just change the information anytime they want.
The
That's
100,
crazy.
What's the mathematical equation? They like to
100, the number 100 is a perfect number. The wholeness.
is riding the bike or driving his car and stopping at the stop sign. Like, we just get in it and ride it. Like, what are you talking about?
That's about the IQ you need to not be able to understand this shit. 100.
Yo, sometimes the sun is so small in the sky, right? And sometimes it's huge. In order for that to happen, if it's 96 million miles away, it would literally have to like move 45 million miles closer to us.
Yeah.
If the Earth
It
is,
proves
I mean,
it's
if
just
the sun is as
perspective.
big as they say it is, the
Yeah.
whole sky will be so like you know how crazy that
Yep,
looking at the
that
sky.
too.
You don't see the whole sun. You
Mhm.
wouldn't even be able to see nothing. If the sun's so big, they say the sun is how much? The Earth's like 1,000 Earths or something. It's so that's how big it is.
And there would absolutely be no
Now,
white people.
You would literally
what they
can't look up
say?
in the sky.
What they say? They say on a flat Earth model, the sun would light up the whole Earth. But literally on a globe model, they got the sun lighting up the whole one side of the Earth, and that literally debunks their model because the sun is local. You know what
And
I'm
then
saying?
it's pitch black. It's pitch black in space though. So the sun ain't
Yep.
lighting up space, but it's lighting up
Right.
the Earth. Like that don't even
Right.
make sense.
That debunks their model and work in our model favor when we bring it closer. And listen, remember now, I was telling Craig, I brought this up to Craig. I said, Craig, what about clouds in front of the sun and behind it?
Yep.
Like, it's amazing how they try to explain this right here away. Look at this, man.
Have any of y'all seen that yet? It's the craziest thing.
Yep.
It doesn't
Always.
happen a lot, but it does happen.
All
This
the
is
time.
crazy. I'm gonna tell you when it's really dope. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I was in an airplane looking down at the sun, and myself. You know how the pilots did? Well, I wouldn't say down. I'm exaggerating. I looked it out at it. I was in an airplane, right? Now, and it was the last time I went home, flew home. I said, when I get up in the sky, I'ma definitely be looking and try to observe the sun. And what happened, I got a good spot. There go the sun. I'm in the sky. And the whole thing is all I wanted to see was confirmed. Look, I'm not looking up at the sun no more. I'm looking straight out at it through my airplane window. Because I just flew up and met it on its elevation within the clouds. Because I would still be looking up at the sun in my airplane if we were on a globe model.
I think these people are hiding freedom from us, yo. I think there's a place somewhere that they don't control yet, and they don't want us to find it.
They never explain your hotspot argument either, Sanchez. Every time you ask them about that hotspot, like why is this a hotspot right here?
Yeah, that proves
They
that it's
always want to
local.
shy away from hotspots.
Yeah, because it proves that
Which
it's
says
close.
it's local and it's
Yep.
closer than that. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Don't you know reflections would be distorted if it wasn't? If we was really on a curve, that's like when you go in the store and you look at a mirror that's got a little curved shape. Everything be distorted. But if I go to a lake and the mountain, it's gonna be a perfect reflection of it.
You know
Perfect.
I want to talk about something with y'all, right? We know the sun is close, is right there within the clouds. You can damn near fly up there and touch it if you want to, but you'll be so bright, you know how that'll be. But here's my thing. The ancestors knew the sun was close. I wonder, did they ever do any kind of experiments? Because look, I would kind of like
that same shit, yo.
I would fly a drone into it, right? Because we know it's right there within the clouds. Why not? Let's mess with it, you know. And here's my theory. I think if we flew a drone into the sun, the drone would disappear and it'll pop out on the night side out the moon like a wormhole.
Wow.
Yeah, a gate, like how you got the MasterCard symbol, Sanchez. Like that might be a good I think that like you know how you make a watermark and you'll print like if you print out a flyer and then you put a watermark in it, but it's not in the flyer, but it's in the flyer. So it's like you probably keep trying to get to the sun or the moon, but you will never get there because it's a projection and it's being projected. So you will never physically
because
get
it's
there.
not
You
a
just keep
physical
going
place.
and you will never get to that physical place.
Yeah,
Hold up.
exactly.
I got y'all.
Yeah, I got that theory too. But I do think that it's possible to just say how we got missiles, align a missile with this sun right here, shoot it some we can track and detect. I do think something happened to that shit once it reached that. Now we may say, well, it'll never reach that point, but that's a theory that I've always had. But when you look at these videos of them pilots flying above the sun it looked like you can just go right there to
Yo.
it though.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, I
You
would
don't-
like to test this thing out.
I like
Yeah.
your theory, and I think it should be done during a lunar eclipse when the sun goes dark. Then fly something.
But that's why I think Plato's theory of the cave is explaining that. Like when we looking out at a cave and you walk out the cave and it's like the real reality. So it's like a manhole. Like, so when we looking at the sun and the moon, it's reminding us that we haven't gotten out the cave. Like we got to walk through those gates or portals to walk through it, and then we'll be in the real world. You know what I'm saying?
So
Or the base reality.
So let me ask y'all this too. Yeah, and I get what you're saying about the cave, and I'm agreeing with all that. I think we're on the same page, but I think that like the sun and the moon are holograms, but I think that's what a wormhole, a portal, a Stargate is. I don't think it's a physical thing. I think it's a holographic, like some energy type shit that's distorting the physical world. Like to me,
Yeah.
a wormhole can't be so-called physical because it's cutting through physicality. It's distorting it to manipulate it and bend it to warp so-called time, space, which is physicality.
What about this, Sanchez? What if it's somewhere between physical and the other thing? Like,
Right, and like a fence straddler.
Yeah, because it's concentrated light. If it's concentrated light, like most flat earthers think it is kind of physical. Like it could burn you. You see what I'm saying? Like a magnifying glass can. When you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it might be like a bridge between the physical and something else.
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm
that's
in
why they call it a
agreement.
hologram.
Yeah.
That's why it's holographic. Because like that's just like with the
I like
with
that.
the miroscope. Remember with the miroscope when you put the frog in the middle of the miroscope and you see the actual frog, like you can touch your hand through it, but if you put a light on it, it's gonna be
Yeah.
the light gonna bounce. The light won't go through it. The light gonna look like it's a physical object, but it's gonna be opposite, like how I explained the navel of the moon. If I put that frog facing down in the middle of the miroscope, the frog gonna be facing me. But once it's the hologram comes to the top, the frog will be turned the opposite way and it's facing the same way because that's how it works. And when you bring up a miroscope, it does the same thing. I think a miroscope really explains the nature of our realm. You know what I'm saying? Because if you
Yeah.
put they put the frog in the middle, and you literally think that's the frog, but the frog is in the
Yeah,
center,
you're right.
being projected to the top. And if you try to touch it, you'll realize, okay, it's not real. But if you use a laser and try to put the laser on it, the laser gonna act like it's actually physical, but it's holographic.
Yeah.
So that's how the nature of our hologram realm works with a miroscope. Bring
Bro,
that
can you-
miroscope up,
That's
Sanchez,
facts.
for them. Bring the miroscope and the frog up for them after this, man, so they can see.
I got you.
Maru, miroscope. Why they call it a miroscope? Because everything being projected, and when you see the projection, you're gonna see the opposite. It's gonna flip. Just like when you look at yourself in the mirror, your left side on your right side, it's inverted.
That's all Maru is. It's just a mirror. Mary, Virgin Mary.
And you know what bothers me about all this the most, y'all? We might live long enough to find out the ultimate truth, but our grandparents, yo, they died not knowing shit. They got cheated, and so did billions of other people. That's foul, man. That we even have a situation like that.
Yeah, it is, man. And I have my different theories on why it's so much evil and shit like that that's allowed in this world. And that's even more deeper than my other theories. So, you know, a lot of people think we in prison. You got a lot of flat earthers still believe in God and the devil is the cause of, you know, evil or good. So
I ain't one of them.
Jesus ain't come back yet. They got all them people waiting on Jesus, and don't worry, Jesus gonna take care of it. Jesus ain't come back yet, man. My great grandma been saying Jesus coming back. He ain't come back yet.
I love those people, bro. Like they're flat earthers. We love them, but they got that little glitch. Just like
it's
I
definitely
say,
levels to awakening. Yeah,
it's just ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, man.
how about the other truthers out there that don't believe nothing? They don't trust Hollywood. They don't trust the government. For some reason, they trust NASA. Those people bother me. I don't
Man, look at the shape of the miroscope. Look at that shape. Like,
that's
crazy.
Is that my stuff?
That's me
making that noise.
Somebody else. I ain't you.
Yeah,
aliens.
so
You gonna bring up the video, Sanchez, or how they do it? Look, and look, like I said, look how the frog is inverted, changing how it's opposite way.
you
How
know
it's
that we looking at the flat Earth terrarium right here, right?
Yeah, there we go, Sanchez.
You know, the only thing that bothers me about that, the surface of this thing, whatever it is, isn't flat.
If you show the video,
It's
you'll
a football.
then see how
It's flat.
it's flat. It just show them the video so they can see how it looks so
Oh,
real.
listen, the top of this object is curved, y'all.
No, the flat part is in the middle. This line right in the middle.
Exactly.
That's where we at.
What am I looking at then with the frog way above that?
So, showing the
He's
video,
inside of a little crater. He ain't on a. Yeah, I'll show you. He in like a little chamber at the top. This is a little diagram that I put up, but I'll pull up the video for you.
Yeah, the top one is actually inside of it. Just didn't
I
really
don't think
put.
you understand what I'm saying.
Here it go right here. Here it goes.
Just watch the
Little
video,
2-minute
brother.
one.
I am.
I ain't gonna play his words not unless you want me to.
Oh, this is good.
Nah, you don't need to. Look how physical that look.
Mm-hmm. That look physical.
The only thing that bothers me, like, that's not a replica of our realm. That thing is oval shape.
It definitely is a replica.
It's what this shows us the holographic nature of our reality. What this is a good example of
So would our realm be
How
that circular area where the frog is?
No, that would be the sky, like how the ground, they call it the atmosphere,
I got
'cause
you,
it's spherical.
I got you.
Or you can look at what you call it? What's the name of that thing where they got the
now look, tell me this don't look familiar right here. This symbol right here that's showing you the reflection, how the reflection happening off this. This don't look familiar, y'all. You don't see it. Now that's a 6-pointed star. That is called a universal hexagram of Aleister Crowley. I'm gonna show you.
You can pull a Batman out of that too.
And don't they make that sigil with the eye when they show how your eyes work with the
Look,
I see a
sigil?
Batman there too.
This the universal hex of Aleister Crowley, and the reason they want to give it to him is to demonize it, to keep people away from it, of course. But it's shown, like I said, all of this knowledge is within these symbols. But yeah, y'all see it. It's all of the stuff you saying too. Yeah, is all of that.
Wow.
Or the star rim frame, or whatever they call it. Same thing. The solar tetrahedron, or your soul, your earthly body.
So the sun and the moon is being reflected up there in the sky, like the same concept we see with this frog, which is why you would go straight through it. That's why we see the blue sky through the moon, the black sky through it. But when I say that they are portals, what I'm saying is that, see, because we like to look at the moon and the sun and all that stuff in the sky as holographic and we're physical, this the part y'all gonna disagree with me on. I think we're just like the sun and moon. We're holograms and we're like this frog too, which is why we can go through wormholes and pop out another side like Bermuda Triangle and all that type shit. We keep saying we physical and that's holographic. I think all this shit holographic.
Agree, Sanchez. Totally agree with you.
Where does our pain and fear come from?
Our
What that
nervous
got to
system.
do with the fact that the world around you can be a simulation. I don't understand how you can't have pain and fear inside of a holographic simulation.
Bleeding
Fear.
bothers me. That's about that. Bleeding
Huh?
and stuff like saliva. You know what I'm saying?
That's just
How
the
you
nature
can't
of
have that in a holo? Let me ask you a question, brother. If I created a computer simulation, an Earth-like simulation in a computer, and I gave you the Neuralink brain computer interface to upload your consciousness into an avatar inside of that Earth-like simulation, and I told you, hey, the simulation in this computer is indistinguishable from real life. You sweat, you have saliva, you got organs, all that in your avatar in the game. Like, if I walked up to you in the simulation and said, hey, we're in a simulation, none of this stuff is real, it's just an algorithm in a computer, it's not a physical place, people would say, look at this rock, look at this table, you don't feel that wind? And that's what the Maya call the illusion of the veil. The Maya, that's an illusion.
You know why I'm not so ready to disagree yet? Because I understand that light, water, and sound can bring something forth that wasn't there before. Right? So there could be something going, there could be a program or something that allows us to produce saliva and blood and organs to grow and all that. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
ask you a question?
Song or wave being played. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, right? We both agree that the foundation of creation is light. That's why you said light can manifest into this and that. I agree with you on that. But what I'm saying, but I'm gonna keep it simple, and I want you to just, cause I'm starting with a common ground, and the common ground, and
like most important.
Yeah, I know you can go. Hold on a second, let me make a point. I know you can go in with light, but I'm starting with a common ground and make a little quick point, real quick, right?
All right,
and then you can do whatever you want after that. What I was saying about light being the foundation of all creation is that the only way to explain that is through holography. Like this is a little holographic man, right? Now he may think he's physical in his little holographic world walking around, but we know he's just a hologram. That's what I'm saying, that I think our reality is just like that, man. And we walk around it every day thinking, because we can touch stuff and all that, but just like Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix, if you just going off your central nervous system and your senses, you ain't proving physicality. You just proving signals to the brain that you're translating as physicality. That's a
good point, Sanchez. Signals to the brain.
Respond to that real quick.
Hold on, look. Signals.
What
he said
that went along with what you're saying. I think I saw a drone show overseas, right? And it was literally like 20,000 drones in the sky, and they were mimicking images. The images literally looked like a movie. People walking, a dragon flying through the air, people making jump shots. And the guy said that all of these drones were being controlled by one central computer, bro. 20,000 of them.
See, that's just like when I went on a tour to Egypt, right? I went on a tour in Atlanta, and you put on these goggles. So we put on the goggles and we walk in this room, this big room that's white, and they got a bunch of black writing all over the wall, but you can't see it unless you take your goggles off. So as we put our goggles on and we're walking now, we're not going nowhere. We in this one room. You start moving. They had this piece where you elevate and moving up. You really feel like your brain, like he said, signals, think you're going up, but we literally standing on the ground, not going nowhere. But the goggles make me think I'm going up all the way to the top of the pyramid because I got it over my eyes. My senses thinking I'm moving and I ain't even going up. I'm still literally
now
on the ground.
Now watch this, Retton. Have you ever had a dream with you falling off a cliff or falling?
Of course.
And you wake up and you can still feel the butterflies a little in your stomach till it fade away and die out.
Exactly.
You weren't falling, you was laying in your bed, but in that dream, it was this was signals to your brain creating a reality. Everything from the mountain to the fall, all that, and this is what the simulation, life is but a conscious program that's being projected from our higher self, y'all.
Yep, and that's just like in your dream, when you dreaming, you using more of your brain when you're asleep than when you awake. So you creating your reality in your dream, and things are happening in your dream. That's like a wet dream. I'm laying in the bed having sex with somebody in my dream, and I bust a nut. My body busted a nut. Like I ain't having. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever you have in that dream, you gonna really feel it.
Yeah, but
my bad.
It says, I can't take it.
But that's true though. You physically moving, body you moving in your dream like you actually at that
and
place.
Your mind makes a release for sure without.
And they can't tell the difference.
I gotta hear your theory about evil, bro, because the stuff that don't make sense to me is the way the world treat children and the kind of weapons we got. It don't.
Now the way that we treat each other in the simulation don't prove or disprove the simulation. Yeah. I just want to throw that out there. What that proves is that you gonna have evil and good, even if it wasn't a simulation. It'll be evil and good, you know. But
we possess intelligence, right? And we have enough of it to understand that evil doesn't make sense in our realm and what we are. We don't need it.
What I think is when you say we got so much knowledge, evil don't make sense. I think we got so little knowledge, evil don't make sense to us. You get what I'm saying? Because think about this, the Bible was trying to teach us this. By default, even Plato said no human got to learn what he called the good, the knowledge of good. That's our default template. And what he said is basically we have to learn the negative side of evil inside of the cave, darkness. And that's when Adam and Eve go into the world and they experience death, suffering. The serpent gives us this knowledge we lack, which is the other polarity. It's like we start off as just one part of the yin yang, and then we got to go get our dark side, and that's what the evil is. And it ain't that it's bad. It's dual forces. Like you can't have up without down, right? So evil.
I get that, man, but you know the polarity, right? Something has an opposite. But I think I think words like love, I think words play a lot of it. Words like love and beauty, right? There's only way to get rid of ugly, and that's to kill beautiful.
Right.
There's only way to get rid of hate is to kill love.
You know, you probably said it.
I don't think you got to get
without down.
Right. I don't think. Yeah. What I'm saying is you don't get. Necessary. What I'm saying is you don't get rid of one to make the other.
One kills the other automatically.
Hold on. So you gotta let me cook, brother. I'm trying to have a you gotta understand what I'm trying to show you. Watch this, man. Let me show you something. The polarizing forces in the universe ain't fighting each other, and they ain't battling. Good ain't going to war. That's a lie that the papacy told us, bro. The yin yang show us the truth, that the polarizing forces in the universe are beautifully bonded together like man and woman, polar opposite. The sun and moon ain't fighting each other. They alternate, taking turns sharing. So nature is showing us that opposites attract. They don't fight each other. And that's what I'm telling you. So why am I pulling up a color wheel? Because we sung this song coming up. You can't have one without the other. If you get rid of one color on this wheel, you get rid of them all. Because every color on the wheel is born off of two other polarizing colors making a baby. Purple come from blue and red. So if I get rid of red, I get rid of purple. And if I get rid of purple, I get rid of yellow and all this stuff. Everything is intertwined, interconnected. And that's what the ancestors said. They said all is connected. So that's why I said,
Perfect.
I can't listen. I can't create up without creating down. Watch this. I can't dig a hole without making a pile of dirt, which is a mountain.
Watch this. This is what I really believe in my heart. What you just said is.
But I just gave what I know, though. But go ahead. You got it, though.
No, the way you broke down the colors, I can't even dispute that. I mean, that's observable, right? Love and hatred is something internal that we have to like measure and weigh out and manage, right? I think they're made up concepts, and I don't think they're necessary. I think our handlers injected this into us because all of our behaviors and everything we do comes through, you know, a source of some kind, like television or a book or.
But that ain't true, bro.
I don't even get
what comes through their ears and eyes. That's what most everybody in the world is doing.
Listen, our emotions are real, but they just tell us what to do with them. They tell us how to express them. So look, you're gonna have every human gonna have love and hate in them, no matter if they was, regardless of the people in power. That's universal forces. But the thing is, they tell us what to hate and what to love. That's the problem.
Yeah, so images.
Good point.
The information comes into us through our eyes and ears, and images weigh that feeling. Like,
do you have family members?
Yes, sir.
Do you love them?
Yes. That's what, I don't know what that means though.
You love them, right? There's a feeling that you call love that you get when you think of your mother, your children. You ain't got to call it love. You can call it something else. But guess what? Man didn't make that. That's a force in the universe.
That's what I'm saying. That is something that happens. It's a vibration. Like when you see your kid running to the street, about to run into the street, something shakes inside you, right? And you can't even stop it if you try. the word hate is just a word. You see what I'm saying? And there was a doctor and there was an Asian doctor that proved that these words generate energy, and we have control over that. We have the intelligence to control it. So I think we could do away with it if we wanted to. We could literally do away with hatred and anger and all that other stuff.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
do you think we should get rid of love?
I think we should restructure that word and how we apply it and separate it from other shit somehow and figure out how to do it. I don't have a recipe for it. But what
I would say is this. Me personally, I think you're having a semantic conversation, and I'm dealing with undeniable universal emotions that we all know about because we tap into them. And I don't think what we call it is gonna really change the feeling I got for my mama, my family members, just because you called it a different word. That feeling goes beyond just what you call it. You know what I mean?
Good point. Good way to put it. I agree with that, but I can observe that there's some power in words. I don't know what it is, but there's power there.
Because you're talking and your mouth create torus fields. This is torus. That's it.
Right. So I mean, I think we can control the negativity in us.
Yeah, we can, most definitely. And what I'm saying is, how do we control our hate, but we can't delete it? Meaning that the two polarizing forces in the universe gonna be in us whether we like it or not. So we gotta aim it in the right directions. For example, I say, look, since I got hate in me, I'm gonna hate lies, I'm gonna hate deception, I'm gonna hate ignorance, I'm gonna aim my hate at that, and I'm good, right? And so they want us to hate each other. We got hate, you're gonna have to express love and hate. You're a human. Those are two forces. It ain't that hating is wrong, is what are you deciding to hate? If a person hate the truth, that's a problem. They should hate the lies. You see what I'm saying?
I want to tell you why I brought it up in the first place, right? Because I always like to try to look at the world through the eyes of children. Because when you're born, you don't know anything. You don't even know how to wipe your ass or what wiping your ass means. Everything you get it along the way, and it comes in from a source somewhere. You see what I'm saying? I just feel like if we worked on it as a collective body, we could get rid of some of the things that make us quote unquote imperfect or whatever.
No, that's just natural, man. You can't get rid of something that's naturally in you. That's a part of nature.
I'm gonna be hold on. I think that our concept of perfection is flawed from the jump. So we may think that the yin yang is imperfect because it got a dark side, but the people who made it said that it's a symbol that represents perfection and completion.
You can feel inside of you when something ain't right, though, right? Like we see somebody mistreating someone else, something buzzes inside you.
I got you. I'm with you on that.
Along with us, you feel me?
Right. That ain't what we call, and that's what I'm saying when I say that there are polarizing forces in nature. We like to look at the dark side as someone getting harmed, someone getting hurt. We don't want to look at it as, hey, it's just nighttime, the sun and the moon. We go automatically to morality, and that's when I say we're wrong. Check it out. The person that's harming the baby, they could have fed a baby last week, and what that proves is good and bad is in every human. You can show me the worst murderer on earth. And the thing is, they bad outweigh they good, but that don't mean ain't no good in them. That mean it's so much bad in them, we need to get them off the streets for our safety. That's why they had my art with the balancing scales. Because check it out. When they was talking about being balanced, they wasn't saying get rid of your darker half or your negative side. They were saying get control over it.
Good point, Sanchez. That was perfect to put it. Balance. Exactly.
Here's the other side of my argument, too. Another thing that bothers me, right? So I'm a farmer, so I know a lot about soil and stuff, right? And in the world of veganism, we feel like some of our misbehavior comes from the consumption of meat, right? And there's some theories behind that. But in all actuality, vegetables and fruit and all that is supposed to be healthy for us. The way it's produced, right? The organisms below the soil that do everything that needs to be done so that these plants can grow, they only do two things in their whole life: genocide and grape. They don't do nothing else their whole lives. That's all they do. Bacterias consume each other and break down the elements we need so they can go through the membrane of the plants. Then we get fed. And a lot of people don't even know that. So underneath our feet is constant war and what we would call evil.
I think you looking at it wrong. Yeah, I think you looking at it from that. I think it's beautiful. It's life. What it shows is resurrection. It shows something dies so something can live. Just like when my body die, my soul gonna resurrect better. Just like a seed got to die for the tree to resurrect. It's transformation. It's how you interpret it. Like it's the glass half empty or half full. You can look at it like a war that night having with day. I look at it as a beautiful unified dance, but that's our perspectives though. You know what I'm saying?
But that is actually what's happening though. What one group comes in and slaughters the whole group. They don't ask, they don't take them out to dinner and give them flowers and nothing. They take what they want.
That's how you look at it.
I mean, those are some bad jokes, but that's what happens.
That's how you look at it, man.
You can look at it.
The worst person in the world can smile at you and kill you and have a smile on their face and bring you in with using deception. So I don't get what you're saying.
No, that kind of works for Sanchez's argument, if you think about it. Like this might be
that's like there are some animals out there, right? They need to be eaten in order for them to transform to their next phase. They look to be devoured. For that,
they even slow down sometimes
and stuff like that. But we may say, "Oh, that's horrible." That animal got ate. When that animal getting ate is doing it a favor. Like we may say, "Well, you know what? I think it's wrong that this beautiful caterpillar just died. No, it spun a cocoon. It's gonna transform. It ain't gonna be a caterpillar no more. Gonna be a butterfly, but." That's what I was saying. I think it's how we look at stuff. We've been taught to look at God fighting the devil versus yin working together with yang.
Yo, have you ever talked about human beings being the only creatures with a vertical spine in the realm?
Never, but that's interesting though.
What did he say?
Human beings are the only animals in the realm that have a vertical spine. And don't give me gorillas and giraffes either, because they don't.
Well, I mean, if you talk about a stomach, we got a stomach that's vertical, but some animals got a stomach that's horizontal.
No, I'm talking about spine. Your spine, the way we move around, our spine is up and down. Like we're aligned in what's above us. The rest of the animals are looking left and right and front and back.
So that's not up and down. If a tiger stand up, he not up. It's just because if he stands straight up right now, wouldn't he be up?
Yeah, but that's not how he moves through the realm.
I don't get what you're saying, brother.
Like we're vertical. When we move in our realm, when we go from one place to another, we're vertical. And we're
the only
only
directions. Like you got 6 directional movements: up, down, left, right, back, and forth. I don't understand.
But y'all know that this conversation we have it now about the human's vertical spinal cord, it debunks the ISS and astronauts spending extended times in space, and I can break it down. I'm not a medical expert, but I know enough about the spine to know you can't be in what they call a zero gravity environment and come back alive. Facts.
Right? How they gonna use the bathroom?
But check this out, right? Don't you know in between all of your spinal discs is like these little liquid cartilage points that's like liquid sort of lube type deal. Now watch this. In space, that right there won't behave the same. It'll glob up and it'll float right. Your whole spinal system will be damn near get paralyzed. The fact that the tissues in between these bones is got this amount of water and moisture in them. To me, that's like we can really pick at them with that. They way around that is to say that the human body is air sealed and pressure tight. And I'd be like, then why the hell we need astronaut suits?
Exactly.
You know, a space vacuum would dehydrate you in a minute.
Shout out to Jordan.
A vacuum period.
Right?
Thank you, Jordan. Flat power. Yeah, no, facts.
Vertical spine, though. Like we're the only animals that have that.
Man, your
Are we
spine,
animals?
your spinal cord, you would damn near be worse than a sclerosis patient in space on the ISS if you think of how the human spine is made.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's we share a commonality with all the vegan animals in the world too. All the vegan animals in the world have 32 teeth with bicuspids, incisors, and molars. And all of the meat-eating animals have fangs that protrude longer than the other teeth. This is a common thing that we share with all the
You got fangs too. It just ain't out.
No, fang is
fangs on the side of your teeth. They're fangs. Those part of your teeth, that's a fang.
No, a fang and a bicuspid are different. A fang is longer than all the other teeth. We have that tooth, but it's the same length as the rest of them. See what I'm
But it's
saying?
still called a fang.
No, it's not. It has a scientific name. It's not called a fang. You got bicuspids, molars, and incisors, and that's it. No fangs. Look at a diagram of a human mouth.
So you saying I can't go to the door?
I think Reese
We all
right.
subject. We all subject.
But yeah, I was finna say. But watch this though, man.
He is right about what he's
y'all
saying.
missing my point though about. I think we just found the dagger with the spinal cord in space though, but we can move on though.
I like that though.
Go ahead with it, Sanchez. Come on with it.
I mean, because it makes them go back to the whole body being air pressure rise type deal. Now we can go on all day how your body can't function if it was if it was sealed from the outside environment.
Did you see that video they had about how things behave in a vacuum? How liquid start bubbling up and how propulsion don't work. And they had a video with an astronaut where they put him in a vacuum and instantly his tongue started. He said his tongue started bubbling. He almost imploded. Like he almost died, and he was only in there for less than a minute.
Did you see the scale go crazy in the
being
vacuum?
in a vacuum? You see what I'm saying? Like you can literally not be in a vacuum. Nothing behaves the same. Things gonna implode or explode. It's gonna be no propulsion. Like literally, a vacuum was debunked their whole theory right there.
They do.
A vacuum chamber.
You know, the liquids and gases in our body was created to function under the laws of density. For you to pass gas, bowel move, all that is based on density, even how your body is moving stuff around and all that. So once you get in space, man, like you gotta think of if you really think of what will go on to the body in that environment, it's damn near a death sentence. Yet they floating around eating Cheetos and stuff, bro. Like it's crazy.
Well, how they even getting propulsion in the vacuum? Like, how are they? You see what I'm saying? Like, how you get momentum if you can't even? There's no movement. No propeller gonna spin. You ain't gonna get no movement. So how are they moving in the vacuum when you can't? What are they pushing off of?
Hey, you know what I need to debate the next global is on? How did they build the ISS in space while it was orbiting the Earth faster than a bullet? They assembled it in rotation, y'all.
Yeah, people on the outside of it.
Didn't they had something that all came together when they put it up and met up by itself and assembled by itself?
And we ain't got video footage of this. That would have been dope.
When they repair it, they on the outside of it screwing in rivets and it's moving.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Sanchez, you killed them with that video you had when man tethered to that little piece. The astronaut was like on a little foot stand. He was moving like that was crazy.
Hey, on some real shit, I killed them with this video that I'm about to show you too. And I remember the video you talking about. But look, I've been having fun with this lately, man. Because I don't know how we missed this one. Now watch this shit. And then I had to look it up. I said, okay, we had green screen in the freaking 50s and 60s, y'all, but it wasn't green, it was blue screen. So when they say we didn't even have green screen, it's a trick. We had the exact green screen technology, but they was using blue screen because blue screen worked better for black and white versus green. If you use green screen on black and white, the green will bleed through the black and white like crazy. So they
had cartoons too, Sanchez, back then too. They had a lot of different tech.
Look at that chroma key glitch. This was the
MSBC
part
is a
of
funny
the
team.
now. This the part of the debate when I think Craig start to shit bricks right here, because he had to say, "Well, that ain't a flagpole, and that's in front of the man, not behind him." This pole right here. He put that in front of the man, y'all. Let's slow it down, cause to me, this footage right here is like, bro, it's crazy. Now,
That looks like
look
an
at
X-ray. You can see right through his body.
What did he say again? That was ridiculous what he said. I can't remember what he said because he went back on his word.
Yeah, he was like, that pole is behind him. That's why we can see the pole. He said a pole in front of him. Now, if the pole was in front of him, it'll be cut. It'll be, you know, when some close up to the camera, we will see it like close in the screen in the square, and it'll kind of go out of view and stuff. That's in the background. He had to say, well, no, it's in front of him. When this pole right here, right there, we can see through him right there. We can see through his whole backpack. But no, that's in front of him, really. So he walking in between poles right now. Bro. Then he went back on his word and said, well, that's just a camera glitch. Which one is it? Is he walking? Come on, man. Bro, if you really look at the astronaut, you can see the background through his body, y'all. Look at it and drop a 1 in the chat room if you don't see like the movie Predator. Who remember Predator when he go invisible? You can see through him. Yeah, look at this dude. I'm going to slow it down. Just don't take your eyes off the astronaut.
That's what he looks
Predator.
like. He looks like
Look.
Predator.
I watch that movie all the time.
Was that the video he was saying you was using AI and it wasn't a real video?
Hey, you know what, Sanchez? I think you just cracked something, yo. I'm willing to bet you there's a scene in that Predator movie.
This man just disappeared.
Same steps. I bet he's doing those same steps and hops. I'm telling you, it's in part 1.
Bro, the astronaut upper torso gone. We only looking at 50% of the man, right? Like, where is he right now?
Nah, that's a fact though.
The headless horseman. Where is now his torso just gone? Now all we see is a backpack and back legs.
His knees are gone.
All we see is back legs and a backpack. And when you go and read about this technology, I did it, right? This was the flaws of this technology. The fact that the lighting that they was using, if the lighting ain't even all the time, you'll be able to see through them at certain points. And you may say, well, that ain't hard. They could have just put bright lights and made it even. Here go the trick, y'all. The way blue screen and green screen is made for you to sit still in a little chair and have a background moving behind you. It ain't really made for you to keep moving around, trying to hop, do moonwalks, because what's going to happen is your shadow's going to change the lighting and glitch it out. You pushing the technology because the lighting when you set up a green screen, you sit everybody down, you tell them to be still, you get your chroma key right and all that. So the less moving they do, the better it look. When they go to wrestling and all that, you're going to see glitches because you set it up with them being still and the shadows and lighting being, with them not really doing a lot of moving. So when you doing what he doing, you really pushing this shit when you trying to go back right and do all, and it's going to glitch like this. They know that, but they way of getting around that is saying, well, this is old ass equipment. And people didn't understand that about chroma key, blue screen. They didn't know about it. They just knew old stuff looks glitchy. It looks terrible. They didn't know what they were looking at. Yeah.
So robotic.
Yeah, Rob in the background. I don't know if he want to really debate or troll, but it's up to y'all. I ain't got words for him.
But why would they delete or damage all the data that they had if they went to the moon? Why would they damage? Why would they got all this other stuff that's precious? But you mean
let me show you what they doing now, Retton. They was saying, where we can't go back to the moon because the technology got damaged. Now NASA just said they going back to the moon soon. Now they're saying we never lost the technology. It's like a Mandela effect.
We still
Wow,
have
that's what they're saying. They
Yeah.
never lost it.
I just debated Craig. He said we didn't lose it. We still have it. I'm like, damn, bro, y'all was saying you lost it a few years ago.
Wait a minute. Didn't another country land on the moon a couple years ago?
They just changed they shit in real time, bro. I'm telling you, they change it in real time. And then when I showed this to Craig, I said, look, Craig, we can see this 90-degree angle in the flag through his whole face right there. You see that, y'all?
Yep. That's his head.
Yeah, I rewinded. That's why I was saying I want y'all check out the astronaut, right? Watch when he finna cross the flag. You're going to see the flag through his body. Look. He already missing his upper half anyway.
Yeah.
But
It's
The
a go.
cameraman went to the moon before they got there. The
Now look,
cameraman
look,
waited on them
look.
to get there.
Crossing the
It's a go.
flag. Look, crossing the flag.
Crazy.
You see
that
it?
look like Bigfoot, yo.
You can see the flag through him right here. Y'all see that?
He walks like Bigfoot.
But do y'all see this corner of the flag right there?
Hell yeah. Clear.
I'm just making, because,
Put
you
your
know,
mouse there.
I'm gonna ask Rob. Maybe we can let Rob on. He's a globalist. Maybe he'll answer this question about us seeing through the astronaut. Y'all think he can? Want to try him out?
He might know Photoshop better than us.
Hey, Rob, we need help with something, man. We know you've been listening in. We assessing this moon landing footage, and we wanted to know why we can see the flag through the astronaut. Thanks for joining. I don't know if he gonna answer that. Shout out to
Oh, hey, sorry, man.
the question. Who set up the
What's
camera
up,
that
bro,
captured the
Sanchez?
landing? Facts.
My nemesis,
Hey,
the
Rob.
bro Sanchez.
Rob, I want you to pay attention to the astronaut right here. He's
Let
finna
it roll.
walk. He's gonna walk by this square flag, and we're gonna be able to see the flag through him.
Yep.
Right there, Rob. You see where my mouse at, where we can see this corner right here of the astronaut, of the flag
Yeah.
through the astronaut. Yeah.
Can you pause?
explain?
Can you pause right there? Can you pause right
Yeah,
there?
it's
So if you
paused.
look
Can you
at-
explain it?
Yeah, if you look at the astronaut right there, if you just zoom in, can you zoom in like on the actual
I
astronaut?
can't. This the buzz. I'm zoom maximum right now.
Oh, you can't just pull the screen. Oh yeah, so if you zoomed in, which I can do, I'm doing it right now. You can see that he's actually basically at this exact moment, he's turning towards the camera more than he's turning towards the flag. So what you're seeing is this is filmed with a, it's a pretty rudimentary camera. It's not like an HD camera. There was no chroma key. There was no blue screen or green screen back then.
They had a spaceship.
Oh man, that's interesting.
They had a spaceship. Yeah, they had.
That's crazy that old equipment allow you to see through people. I wish I had a camera that can do that. That allow
And
me
then they
to
had a
see through stuff.
landline.
So it's
Like
it's
it's
not
all
though. So what's really happening is that the resolution of the camera, along with the speed and stuff, and all that, and lighting, it's giving you like a shadow image, like a false image of like a burnt image. So it's kind of like burning in the picture. So what you're seeing is when you're running it at low speed. If you ran it at full speed, it wouldn't look like this. You know what I'm saying? It would still have like the real shadowy effect, but it wouldn't look as
we
obvious as
want
you're
to
saying
run
now.
it at slow speed to see the truth, like what detectives do. They say slow it down.
Yeah. But did you
Right.
run it at fast speed to see the truth too?
Of course, man.
Oh,
We
I never
did
seen you
that
run it at
first.
fast speed. I never seen you run it at
But
fast
no,
speed.
but we're not gonna do it either because I want you to.
Well, I know you're not.
You ain't
I know you
explaining. Yeah, because that's unnecessary for what we point out here, man. So look, we'll just move the mic forward, man.
It's unnecessary because
Yeah,
it's proof.
for what we pointing out, right? You should be able to explain right now why I can see this pole through his body, fast speed or
You
slow
can't
speed.
see it right there, can you?
I can
You can't
see it
right
through
there,
his
can you?
body, right
No,
there.
you can't. Not in that frame. You can't.
Look at there, y'all. Bam, through his body. Is it just me? Look at there.
No,
through
you
his
can't
body
see it
right
through
there.
his body. The only time you see it through his body when he first approaches it, because the glare and the shade of it
Shouldn't
is,
be able to
going
see
on
it through his body at all. Look at there, right
not.
there. Can I get someone else that see the
That
the
stick is in
pole?
front of him. He's walking
I
in
got
between
you.
the poles.
I got
He's
you. I
walking
got
in
you.
between the poles.
I got you. What I'm saying is this. Boom. Look at the bottom leg, y'all. You can see the pole through his bottom legs too.
No, he's going in between the poles.
Look, y'all.
There's two
check this
poles
out.
there. There's two poles.
Check this out, y'all. We know he ain't going in between them, of course.
There's two poles. He is though, bro. You don't know that.
Right,
You're just
right,
saying. I'm telling
right,
you that he
right.
is.
Cool, if that's what you think. Bam, look at it. He going in between the poles. Look at that. No, we seeing
You just said
the
it.
pole
You
through
just
his
said
body.
it. Thank you.
No, I said you said he going
You
in
just said
between.
he's going in between the poles.
I was repeating you, man. I was repeating you. That's what I'm telling you. That's your claim. Is that he's going in between the poles. That's your claim. Like, if that's how you win a debate, you're a child, man. You just said it. That's a child. Get him up out of here, man. He's ridiculous. You know my argument is that he's not going in between them, but you just said it. Okay, bro. Just get your goofy butt up out of here, man.
Ridiculous, man. He always do that.
Like, you running from a debate, bro. You running from the smoke. You just said it. Nope, cover my ears. No, bro, really? Get out of here, man. You don't want a debate.
He would have to be behind it if he went in between it. He's obviously in front of it. It's not coming towards the camera and going in between them two poles.
Right.
Going right in and just disappearing. Ridiculous.
It's crazy. Now they got to say he walking in between the poles. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. He's not. Well, he has to be behind it and coming towards it. He's going in between the poles. Idiots.
Watch this. Watch the first pole when he jumped and he's approaching the pole. Watch these poles, y'all. Now, we know he ain't hopping in between them. He's right up on the camera right now. Now, watch this. Uh-oh. Look at that first pole. We can see it through his arm already. Uh-oh. We can see it through him. Let's let him hop some more. Look at the pole, y'all, in the background. He ain't in between them right now. We know that. Look at there. Can't we see this whole pole through this man's body right here? Look. Y'all see that?
I can see it.
Now they gonna still say he's in between them, even though he dead up in the camera view right now. He's got bigger. He's walking at us now. And there go that pole right there.
Man, that's crazy.
Like
literally.
From the flag, from walking by the flag, look at his arm right there. You still see the stripes of the flag on his arm.
Right here. You can see the stripes of the man. Good catch.
That's crazy.
You can see the stripes of the flag through his arm if you got good eyes, because I didn't even catch that at first. It's very faint, but you sure can, though, right here. Yep.
The flag
good catch, bro. No, but he's in between it, right?
Screenshotting right now.
Oh, man, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man.
Don't forget he called the moon from a landline.
Let me blow this up for your screenshot. Get this one. This a big one here. Yeah, man, this ought to go viral. This picture right here with the right caption on Facebook. Yeah, they can't explain that one out while we see the flag and the pole through this man on this little still shot right here.
Man, you can see it too. I ain't even noticed that. Wow. No, it's something you doing, Sanchez. You did this.
Right. That's something we doing. Let's play this, man. And we zoomed in slow. Oh, my God. It gets worse, y'all. It just got worse when he just moved right there. Let's take it back. The flag pattern gets so pronounced right here. Look at that. Look at that flag pattern right there. Let's keep going. Damn, this is good stuff, bro. This chroma key. Anybody use green screen know what we looking at here, boy.
Well, it's blue screen.
Yeah, blue screen. Let me get it right. Because they didn't have green screen technology yet. Right, it's blue screen, bro. Same shit. That's crazy.
You can use yellow. You can use, you can use black.
Damn, but that first approach is like that one right there crazy though, like how that first one though is real pronounced, that first pole. Ain't no way that man walking in between them. And that's how come I know the globe earthers, they know we right. They know it's fake. They got a lot of they self. It can reach a point where I'll be like, okay, bro, you ain't this stupid now. You're like, well, he's walking in between them. Come on now. You don't even believe that now. Look at that, y'all.
That's what he said. He said he was walking in between it.
Yeah, he says he's walking in between these two poles. That's why we see it through him. It ain't saying it through him. Yeah. That's why when Craig said that in a debate, and Rob just repeated it. But the truth is that's why I just paused it at that close-up when he walked up to the camera and we can still see the pole through him. You can't say he in between them now.
Sanchez, what do you think about the car frame from the junkyard with the two beach umbrellas on it and curtain rods? And
bro, that shit looked like some shit in Tent City, Skid Row. I'm telling you, a homeless man, that's like a little mansion to him and shit like that. That'll be the shiniest contraption on Skid Row. And
your people believe that. The whole world did.
Yeah, they took this Skid Row contraption to the moon. And that it was coated in aluminum foil. One of the main materials was aluminum. And one of the main materials used to seal them from the harsh moon surface environment was duct tape. Now, they think duct tape and Velcro, don't you know the temperature on the moon surface? Bro, let's get into it. We don't want to get us into the moon surface temperature now. The fact that the surface, let me pull up my notes because I got them all written down. I've been doing this a while, man. Let me pull this up for y'all. If y'all want to go into that, we can get into that too, man.
That gets real crazy.
Thanks for having me back, bro, Sanchez. Hey, can I address someone in the chat real quick? Because someone keeps making it.
Leave my chat people alone, man.
Oh, come on. Get everybody fired up, man. Get people come up on here, give you some donations, man.
Okay, man. They can hold their own, brother. You can do.
Let me just address one thing. So someone in his chat said that they called from a landline to the moon. No, the president called NASA, who connected him via radio.
I said that. You know somebody? I said that.
Okay, you are up here. Okay, and another person said that they filmed the moon landing on the moon. There is no film of the actual landing of the moon. The film you're seeing is them taking off and leaving the actual landing module on the moon. It's still there. You can go see it through a telescope. It's still there.
How I got there before them?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
That's how they got there. As I'm saying, you're not.
How did they get there before them though?
There was no there before them. They brought that with them. There is no film of them landing on the moon except from the actual shuttle itself inside. There is no one set up there to film it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find that film. You're just not understanding what you're saying. The film that you're seeing.
What took the picture of them leaving?
That's on the landing module. That when they landed on the moon, they left there because it had too much weight to get off the surface of the moon. So they left
a camera. And they kept it on, and they said, "Get me this selfie while we head back."
Well, no, they were sending the video to Earth, and they were recording it. That's why we can see it, and it shows them leaving their moon.
So they was recording the video from the moon, and then we just
live streaming it, I believe.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think that we had the technology to live stream from the Earth to the moon when you can barely? Yeah. Are you serious?
I was being sarcastic. Obviously, they can send the video, the messages, the radio signals to Earth. Yes. Now, if you want to call that Wi-Fi or whatever, that's just ridiculous. No, they can. But you can send a message. You can send videos and stuff to Earth. Yeah, that's what they did. That's how they got it.
That would be Wi-Fi, and we didn't. If you think that we had Wi-Fi technology that can reach from the moon to Earth during during rotary phone times. During the time of the rotary phone.
Bro,
I understand that we can send radio waves. I'm talking about the limitations of how far and all that though. So you telling me that is irrelevant. It don't tell me we had the technology capable of doing it that far. No,
they go forever in space. Radio signals go forever, buddy.
No, brother, that's crazy. Yeah.
I know
It's
it sounds crazy, but I mean, I can help you.
It
try to
ain't
maybe,
proven.
like,
That's why it's crazy.
oh, it is proven.
Because you don't, space ain't proven. So once
Well,
you get
what are you
people,
talking about?
once you get people believing in space, you can say, well, this can happen in space, that can happen in space, bunnies
No,
can
you have to
fly
have
in
proof.
space, people can float around in space all day and have no matter. Space can be whatever, anything. We can't verify. Well, this can, radio waves can. You can make whatever fit your argument once it's taking place in space. That's why they said we can't reduplicate gravity, because we got to go out to space and you got to leave the Earth pull of gravity to be able to prove gravity. See, once you take me out of a realm where I can't prove it, it's a religion. That's what they don't get. You're saying, well, radio waves can travel forever in space, but we still ain't proven space with this footage. Space haven't been proven with this. That's what we still investigating. It's like they will make an argument to prove something off something else that ain't been proven. One theory to prove another theory.
Crickets.
They can't just make a straight up argument. They got to base it off something that's already flawed from the get-go. Well, this can happen in space. That can happen in space. You ever been to space? Nope. But you know all, you can't test it. You can't do nothing but believe that they said, well, things float around in space. Cheetos can float.
Well, I can observe things.
Not bad, brother.
I can observe things in space and from space. So yeah, that's proof of it.
Okay, brother. Cool. We got you. Thank you.
Delusional.
You guys never seen a shooting star? You never seen an
Let's get
something like that?
fucking delusional. We're so delusional.
Exactly.
Tonight we get fucking delusional. So ride with me, baby.
You stupid, Sanchez.
Much love and respects, everybody. Yeah.
Tonight we get fucking delusional.
Where's the Mariner satellite, bro Sanchez? How far is that away?
What'd you say?
Where's the Voyager? Where'd that go? Where's the Mariner? Where'd all these satellites go? You know where they're at?
Now, see what I'm saying? He got to make an argument off something else that ain't been proven. So if space ain't real, what the satellites doing up there? Those are ground towers, sir. If we went and knocked down all these towers on the ground, the communication grid will go down, but it shouldn't. We got satellites up there, right?
What does satellites have to do with our communication?
I can't even have service.
What do you
right
think?
now.
What do you think satellites do with our communication? You think all of our phones run on satellites?
No, I'm saying that a lot of our communication systems depend on satellites.
Which one?
I can't be specific, but I know that we have communication satellites according to them.
I can.
I don't.
None of them.
See, I can't prove that any of them even exist from the begin with. But I do know that we have, even phone companies will tell you when you get Sprint, these different places, they boast about having their satellites up there giving you these services. Am I lying? Your cell phone company ain't never claimed a satellite? Am I lying on cell phone companies, panel?
I wouldn't say you're lying. I think you're missing.
Am I lying on cell phone companies? I ain't the only nigga with a cell phone.
They have tower coverage on they're ground-based towers.
You
That's why
just
when you go into
proved
all
my
that-
damn point. Give that man
why
a
when you
round
go-
of applause.
Yeah.
Give that man a round of applause. He just told you the satellites that they're claiming are really ground-based towers. I didn't say
No,
that.
I
He
didn't say
said that.
You're gaslighting me, dude. I didn't say
You
that.
just
I
said
did not say that.
Okay.
No, I did not. I said they're cell towers. They're towers on the ground. Cell phones have nothing to do with
Right,
the
and
satellite.
that's what I'm saying. So they're lying to us because the cell
No,
phone
no one's
companies are claiming satellites. Yes, they are. There are companies claiming to have this fancy, and they charging extra for it. I'm gonna pull it up for Rob. He ain't gonna sit here and cape and lie today.
Hey, salutes, bro Sanchez, and everybody
What's
on the
good,
panel and all the
Charlie?
chatters. Much love and respects, for sure. Thanks
Now
for bringing
watch
me in.
this. Let's read satellite phone service enables standard smartphones, where everyone got, to connect directly to satellites in what? Low Earth orbit. Why Rob lying, y'all? Why they can't just debate straight up? They got the lie. Like, I'm gonna tell you what this remind me of. When you debate Christians and you don't bend or twist the Bible, you just read what the Bible say and you debate them. And the Christian will say the Bible don't say that, and they will reinterpret the scripture when you're the non-Christian and you using the Bible as is. Don't the globalists do that all the time? Don't they re-edit they shit as they go to when they know that they wrong? I'm pulling it up right here, man. Hey, I'm giving you the overview right here. But he's gonna rewrite this. He's gonna say, is everyone in agreement that this is the claim being made by smartphone companies? Because Rob is acting like I'm lying on these folks when I'm saying, bro, you pointing out
You're
the
not lying,
same.
bro. I didn't call you a liar. I did not call you a liar. I said you're misinformed. I think you're misinformed too. Can we read that together? It says it takes a standard cell phone and makes it satellite compatible. Therefore, they were not the same to begin with, because one is a standard phone that uses ground-based, but some services offer a satellite, but through SpaceX, through the
That's what I was
the
saying.
satellites. But that proves there's satellites up there. So if
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It does. Okay,
It doesn't.
Then why have two different things? You're just being.
I'm going to tell you why it doesn't prove it. Because people with the satellite service still can't get no signal in the mountains. And they should if the satellite
That's not true. That's not true.
They can't get no signal
I
in
can
the
prove
mountains.
it. I've been in the mountains with the satellite phone.
And guess what? I'm going to tell you too. And I'm going to tell you another thing. They got these towers that's mounted higher. It's about the level of your towers. See, the thing about it is this, Rob. Hear my argument so you can correct it. I want you to hear my argument, Rob, so you can tell me if I got this right, because I studied how this works. Most of our towers on ground are just above the tree line. Rob, this, you can look this up, y'all. I did a little research. I know some little basics, right? So guess what I figured out? They building new towers now that are like way up, you know, that can give you better signals, because it's all about elevation. It's all about once you go above the range of the, you raise up in elevation. Think of an ocean, right? And all of your towers, they at a certain height level. And once you get above that height level, you will get signal problems when you raise up in elevation, and they can build higher towers. Now look, this is my theory based upon me looking at basic facts about how the ground towers work, and then me expounding on why I'm saying we don't get signals in high elevation in the mountains and different stuff like that, or in highly forest areas, because I think the trees can block the signal if they're heavy, dense too. But you know, anyone can correct me and all that. The Earth's still flat, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I got you. So, like the reply. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And so the logic in this is they make towers higher because the radio waves have to. They don't want to fight.
They're building more higher towers.
I just started, bro. I didn't interrupt you. I was actually muted the whole time.
I was just saying, so, you're right.
I know. Yeah, so they put them up higher to avoid all that, all the interference. You know what I'm saying? So even a high tower, which the higher you get, the better actually. But they can only make things so high because it's just practical. So the higher you get, but even then, a tower's range is dictated by the environment that it can be in. Weather can affect signals. You know what I'm saying? It can dampen a signal. It can cause interference. So there's lots of variables. That's why the more towers you have, the better coverage. Now,
I agree.
When towers fail, you can use a satellite phone, which connects to things above you. I'm not going to say space because you don't want to hear that, but they're above you. So they're wherever they're at, they're flying above the ground. They're not ground-based thing. It's a satellite. It's literally the definition of going around you. It's moving around you, up above you. You know what I'm saying? So, and that gives you a chance too. But even then, if you have lots of cloud or something like that could interfere too. So if the environment. When you're in space, radio signals can go forever in space because there's nothing to stop them except objects such as planets.
I got a response for him. See, Rob, I want to be very clear too. I'm not gonna sit here and say satellites don't exist, right? I just want you to hear me out because I think you think I don't believe in satellites, and I want to be clear. Let me share something with you. I'm not saying satellites don't exist. Now, a lot of flat earthers say that, and I want to be clear what I'm saying. I'm saying satellites exist, but they don't exist in low Earth orbit, orbiting a globe like what we see right here. What I'm saying is they exist over a stationary Earth in a network of balloons that's just hovering. And it would be the same concept, okay? We get the technology higher, we can boost the signal. You calling it space, I'm calling it the upper atmosphere, right? And I got pictures to prove what I'm saying. But if I go to pictures to prove your satellite, guess what? It's just a CGI concept. Let me hold on. Let me land. I'm gonna land right here. Because I know you ready for it. Here's my thing. If you pull up satellites in space, none of these are real photos. But my claim is that the real satellites ain't in space. That's why they can't give you a real photo, but they can give you this, though, a real photo, because the real satellites are hovering, right? Because whenever they have to service a satellite or change one out, they don't got to race around Earth orbit. These things going the speed of bullets or whatever, capture it, all that. They got a locator where they can pinpoint it specifically, go right to it, release that thing down, do whatever the repairs, boom, just like that. It's hovering right there over stationary Earth. But that's it. That's it.
Okay, yeah, awesome. So yeah, I understand you're again. I think this is misinformed. The satellites actually, they have tracker. There's a big system you can use. It's called satellite tracker. You can find a satellite that you like, and I recommend doing it at night. You get a telescope. You can actually find the satellite that you're looking for, and it'll predict the time that it will go by you. So all these predictions can be made on a globe Earth model. It shows you all of the paths of every satellite that's on the list, and you can go visually look at them. These right here are weather balloons. You're right. They do go high, about 120,000 feet, some of them, but they're not satellites. They carry weather equipment. They carry different types of actually GPS equipment to measure the round Earth. But yeah, those are easily you can go.
Satellites got motors.
Hold on. Can I ask you? Do you know what HAPS is? HAPS. HAPS.
I'm not familiar with that. What's that?
Okay, let me read it. It's a high altitude platform station. It ain't a weather balloon, right? It's a direct to device satellite technology. So it's specialized balloon systems that are in use for emergencies and remote areas. It ain't weather balloons. It goes back to what I was saying about you don't gotta lie, brother.
I'm not lying. I just used the term weather balloon.
Okay, don't do that because I didn't call it that. I said it's a satellite used for communications, and you need to know that. You shouldn't try to downplay that. That it looks suspicious. Just deal with the claim I'm making, and then make a good response for it instead of try to say, "Well, it's a weather." I said what it was. Why are you trying to change it? Like, no, it's doing what I said, and boom, I'm showing you that. So I'm not making a false claim.
No, again, you're not. And I'm not going to call you a liar at all today. But I want to say you're misinformed again because it says right here. It says quotation.
But you didn't know what HAPS was, though.
No, I didn't know that. I wasn't familiar with that acronym. So here it says right here, though. Even if we read it in quotes, satellite balloon, which is actually just like it's kind of like a slang term because they're high altitude platform station. So they're not even balloons, like you said. They're a whole different
balloons,
thing
brother.
on their own. What I'm saying is. They're not satellites.
They're balloons.
The word satellite is not even in there. They're not satellites.
It is. It's called a satellite. Listen, bro, let me explain something to him. That's why I asked him, did he know what HAPS was? It is a satellite balloon, but it's a version of the balloon that is meant to carry a high altitude platform, meaning that you can have this platform on the ground sitting down, but they just mounted the platform to a balloon so it can sit at a high altitude. That's simple. How that's going over this man's head, y'all? What the hell, bro?
No, we're not. Tripping. It's not really going over my head. No, we're not. We're good.
It's crazy, man. It's a balloon, bro.
I know it's a balloon. We can also.
But you just said it wasn't a balloon, didn't he, y'all? Didn't he just say that?
Well, the technical word for it isn't what you're saying.
See what's going on now, y'all?
He's going back and forth, satellite,
Yeah,
balloon,
it's crazy, man.
not a balloon, satellite.
I'm actually just reading what is in front
Okay,
of me. I'm
brother.
not going anywhere.
All right,
I
bro.
don't.
So Rob, let me ask you a quick question, right? It's a two-part question. What layer of the atmosphere does the satellites travel in?
What satellites? They're all
Any
different layers.
satellite, whatever satellite you want to say, what layer of the atmosphere does it travel in?
I don't. What do you mean?
What layer of the atmosphere does the satellite travel in? It's a two-part question because I'm asking you another question after that. But I just want you to answer that one for me.
I don't really understand your question, man.
All I ask you is what layer of the
I don't know.
atmosphere what layer of the atmosphere does satellite travel in? You don't know? I'll tell you. It's the
It's like
thermosphere, right?
It's like
Hold on.
262 miles up. So
Okay, it took you forever to answer that. It's the thermosphere, right? So how hot is the thermosphere?
yeah, probably.
How does the satellite travel in the hottest part? Like, well, how does that satellite survive in the atmosphere?
The thermosphere is not a. Yeah, there's different. There's the edges of the thermosphere. There's the middle of the thermosphere. The temperature's not constant. What you think? It doesn't just stop at all the hot temperature at one line and just go to nothing. So you're just again misunderstanding of physics. Of
well,
science.
help me understand it because I'm asking you. You ain't helping.
I just told you.
That's
That's the simple man's version of understanding it. It's not all one. It's not all one temperature. Just like your pool. Is your pool the same temperature at the bottom as it is at the top? Without a heater? No. You're not understanding thermodynamics. You're not understanding physics. It's really simple when you stop just trying.
But you didn't even know what layer was even in. Now you're telling me what I don't understand.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's how it works.
Sounds like you don't understand what you even talking about.
Well, that's cool, man. I mean, that's the only logical conclusion you can come to deal with what you're hearing.
Okay. So how does the satellite travel in the thermosphere, which would be in that hot? What type of because Kevlar ain't strong.
Well,
what type of material is made for it to travel in the thermosphere?
And
you can look up the components of the materials used in the ISS and it'll tell you.
I'm asking you. I ain't gotta look up. I got Rob to tell me. I got.
Oh, so you're just asking me questions you know the answer to say like, oh, I got you.
Well, let me ask you. I got
it's like
something
a gotcha
for you.
Question.
I got
one,
something.
One after another.
Are you familiar with how the coordinate system work on your globe model, Rob?
What'd you say?
Are you familiar with how the grid point coordinate system works on the globe model?
No, I'm not familiar with it. What do you mean grid point coordinate system?
We navigate using coordinate points, longitude and latitude.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we went over this. We went over this before. I can actually make a triangle.
Well, I'm trying to. Well, you can't talk over me. I was bringing that up to make a point. Listen for a minute. When I was bringing up the grid point coordinate system on a globe, it was to say, no matter where we are on the Earth, we use squares on the grid point coordinate system that are the same size, meaning it ain't no big squares and small squares like this map I'm showing you here. No matter where we go on Earth, the squares are the same size, meaning that alone shows us we're at least on an extended plane. It can't be a globe because hold on real quick, y'all. Because guess what? On a globe, then the squares would actually, if I was looking at a map of the North Pole area on a globe, it shouldn't show me perfect squares the same size. They ought to shrink and distort because the grid point. No, they don't. No. I'm telling you, they don't. But
you're looking right at it. They're distorted.
Yeah, but this is not how we navigate using this. We use this when we navigate.
It absolutely is. All lines converted to poles.
When we go to the North Pole and look at the grid points there, they look the same as we see on this map here, correct?
Can I comment to the ISS guy real quick just to finish it up?
Right.
And then move on to this.
All right.
No, I want to move on to this next. I can do two things at once. I just want to finish up with him. The thermosphere is very thin. They're very thin up there. The air is very thin. It doesn't transfer heat. I know you think 2,000 degrees sounds like you're baking in the oven and stuff, but when the molecules are so far apart that it can't transfer the heat, it feels cold to your skin. Deal with that one. How's that for a science trip out today? I know. Blow your mind. Okay, let's go with the 4-point system. Yeah, like I said, all lines converge at the poles, north and south. All latitudes and longitudes line up exactly as the globe says. You can never have a longitude and latitude on a flat Earth because Australia to Santiago, Chile would never work.
Why does it sound like he's reading from a script? Where you get all
He
that?
is. And it make
Yeah,
no sense.
okay,
We debunked the script.
I'll
He's a
turn my
robot.
camera on. I'll turn my camera on. Where's the script at, dude? Come on, bro. Don't play with me, bro.
It's memorized
Ain't no
in your
script, bro.
head, bro. It's like, but check this
Oh,
out.
really?
It's
Takes one to know
cool.
one, bro.
Let me respond to your argument, Rob. So one thing about lines of latitude and lines of longitude is that they are lines and not circles. I don't know if y'all forgot what a line is, but you can't have a line of latitude or a line of longitude on a globe. You can have a circle. Now on a flat earth, yeah, you can have all of these converge at the poles too, man. You can have the same thing. On a flat earth model, right? You can have your squares distort, well, not
But
distorting,
those aren't
but
straight lines. Can you show me a straight line on a map right there? Show me a straight line going from
right
Australia
here,
to South,
all
South
of these
America.
lines that's coming out
Those are,
from the
those are
center
straight. Those are lines are straight. You tell me you're looking at those with
straight
your eyes. You
lines,
say those lines are
and
really? Those are straight lines.
and
You're looking
then
right
you
at them.
would.
They're not straight. It's a circle. It's not straight.
What I'm saying is, on a flat Earth model, you have one lines and one circles. On a globe model, you calling them both lines, is what I'm saying. On a flat Earth model, you would have lines of longitude and then, circles of longitude, and you would have lines of latitude or vice versa. So on your model, it would just be all circles, but yet you calling them both lines is the point that I was making.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was also making a point.
Our model works. Yours doesn't. I can prove it right here.
But I'm showing you that
Go
for example, when you look at the globe model right here, when they say, well, all of the ley lines converge at the top where the North Pole.
Yeah, look, all circles.
I
It's
got
hilarious
you.
how
I
it
got you,
works.
bro. I got you. But what I'm saying is that's happening on this too. The exact same thing
No,
happening at the
it's
North
not,
Pole.
bro. You're looking right at it.
All
Those are
of the lines
circles.
are converging.
But
Yeah,
you know
because
that's not how it works.
listen,
Okay,
though.
can you show me the straight?
The compasses and the maps are designed to be off of a two-dimensional circle. On a
No, it's
globe,
not.
you would need arches. Yes, it is. Is the
No,
compass?
I can
The compass ain't a sphere; it's a circle.
go back to the flat Earth.
It's two-dimensional. A clock, two-dimensional.
Look at man. So if you can you move out a little bit? Please go to so we can see Australia.
You don't. No one flies with a globe in the cockpit though, to account for arch.
Why would you? That's an irrational even premise.
Okay.
Why would you?
Okay.
You're just adding that in to make it sound spooky.
I'm gonna show you why you should, because I would have to know. I would have to account for arch as I'm traveling over the globe, but you saying I don't because we just treat it as flat. That's what Jaron says. Like,
They do account for arch.
It's so big that we can just treat it as if it's flat, but yet it's curving.
Fly from New York to London, bro. They don't go straight across the ocean. They go north on an arch.
What I'm telling you is they don't make an arch because remember the spirit level flight test. We got brothers that did experiments. Shout out to D Marvel.
That's ridiculous.
The spirit level flight test proves that the pilot ain't doing an arch, bro. Yeah, it ain't ridiculous, brother. It ain't ridiculous if you know how a level work, my brother. Bro, like that's crazy.
Of course, he's going to be level in the plane. He's sitting in a plane with a tube level.
But if the plane is making an arch, then the level is gonna show us that. It's gonna constantly the water bubble gonna be leaning down to show the arch.
It's not making an arch like a roller coaster though, bro. You're over simplifying.
But brother, if it's making an arch, it's making an arch, and the level ain't gonna lie.
It's a big arch.
Listen. It doesn't matter, then the level is gonna show us that. What I'm saying is you can't say, well, the arch is this big. Okay, so let's just say let's say I take a plane trip from Bama to Georgia. We can make the arch small then, and the level gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm saying is, if you look at the map, like, can you zoom out on this map a little bit so we can see we can see America and stuff and all that? Because what I'm saying is, it's not so much that they're flying like that on purpose. They do that out of the shortest distance to one place is a straight line. We all agree on that. So if a straight line from New York to England is the straightest on this map, that must be the flattest or the fastest way to go. But it's not. The straightest line is going north and then coming up, hitting a certain degree in latitude, and then coming back down south. That's the straight line on a globe.
Delusional.
No, what do you mean? They make flights daily. You can go watch Flight Tracker. They do these flights daily. It's
Insane
not
in the
delusional.
membrane.
Insane.
Insane in the brain.
Dummy, up in your
Rob's
head for
insane.
fun.
Got no brain.
That boy is delusional.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane.
Insane in the brain.
Insane in the brain.
Cause a global like me is going insane.
Guys just don't understand. It's scientifically impossible for you to understand what we're saying.
Yo,
We're
flat
so
earthers
smart.
just don't understand.
I don't understand
You
what I'm
say
saying,
that-
but I'm gonna say you don't understand because I want to sound smart.
It's all good, man. Listen, I'm not a scientist, man. I'm not highly educated. I just go off based on reason, and you can go look up stuff for yourself. Everything I'm saying, you can go look up yourself, and you can just prove it to yourself.
Yeah, I looked
It's
it
hard.
up. That's
It's
why I
hard to
know you're
take in.
full of it and
I know.
delusional.
No, it's because you still want to hold on to the dream. You want to be part of
Only
something.
person holding on is delusional.
I know. Well, Juranism went down there. That was Bro Sanchez's buddy. Too.
Yeah, okay, bro.
And he
Cool,
knows that. He knows that
bro.
Juranism ain't going.
Cool. I don't want. Listen, let's just move on to the arguments about what shape of the earth, bro. You trying to, we ain't gonna be messy.
Hey, respects everybody. How you
Shout
doing,
out
bro?
to you,
It's been a
Charlie.
while, man.
Big salutes. Thanks for joining, man.
Charlie.
Yeah, hey, thanks everybody. Much love to all the panel folks for sure, and the chatters and bro. Yeah, and hello, Rob. It's all good. Hey, I don't know if I can share a little bit about the topic where we're talking about space, and I got a few notes that I came across like last night, man. Kind of on accident, but it's part of what's going on here, and it has to do with Star Trek, the movie, and actually Captain Kirk. James Kirk. If I could share, is it okay?
Oh yeah, let's poison the well. Go ahead.
It's just information, but it's for everybody in the panel and the chatters, and we need to really look. So Captain James Kirk, right? The show from Gene Roddenberry and all that. The name Kirk kind of means the word church.
Yep.
James, it means the supplanter or the wrongful, right? So now you got that name, and then Star Trek, right? Trek in the stars is like the wrong church, right? You're going after some bizarre stuff. And Gene Roddenberry, his own name, Roddenberry, right? The creator, Roddenberry, his last name means science fiction. It means an awkward person that lacks skills. I mean, it's just weird, man. Thanks for letting me share, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Charlie's the assassin. He's good.
Bro, you remember those that famous corkscrew picture you have with everything hurtling through the universe? You remember that famous one you always have?
I gotta get up out of here for real. Shout out to Vinny. He been left. I don't know if he had something to do, but I was waiting on him to chime in at some point, and I see he went on and had to left. So hey,
Damn, Sanchez, you about to shut it down?
Yeah, we at the 4-hour mark, and Vinny got on up out of here. But yeah, I mean, we can start
That's a
another.
good bill, I appreciate you
later,
giving us a little time.
Look how beautiful our universe is, man.
Is it cold? How the weather is out there, Sanchez?
It's cold, but it ain't that cold.
It's like 60 to 70 degrees, I think. Wimp.
It ain't that cold for real.
It's like 10 degrees where I'm at.
It's like it's
cold.
real
I'm
cold
in my
in
garage.
Atlanta.
I'm in my fucking garage blowing smoke out my mouth.
Yeah, you swam in ice water. We know.
Yeah, Michigan boys are real different. There's just so many stars. Look at them all.
You know how you know how you
charging.
look at your weather app and it tell you the weather, right? And like it's this much degrees, but it feel like this. The new
Like when
thing
you
do.
see that, hey, bro. When
So
you
it
see
says
that,
it's 21 degrees, but it feel like it's 2 degrees outside. That's what my thing say. It's 21 degrees, but it feel like it's 2 degrees.
Bro,
That's
Sanchez,
literally what my
what do you
thing
think that
says.
is when you see those lights in the sky? What do you think those are? Do you think that they're ripping the firmament or something? Like, what do you think that is? The heavens?
Well, you're not watching the show? I thought you was paying attention to the show. You heard what we were saying?
I came out and not must not have been that early. I
What's
just
your
want to let you
question?
guys. Like, what do you like? Where he's showing right now? Like, what do you think that big white massive light is? Like, what do you think it is?
You didn't even get in here on time.
What
You
do you
said
think
what?
it
The
is?
big, massive white light.
Man, are you not watching the screen? There's like galaxies and shit and stars flying across the screen.
What, the Milky Way?
Right there. All this
The
stuff,
Milky Way?
dude. What do you think that stuff is?
I don't know. You tell us.
I asked you. That's not a reply to a question.
I
I'm
said I
asking you.
don't know. You
Oh.
tell us. You didn't hear me?
You don't know.
No, you tell
You
us.
really, yeah, you don't know what it is. You just see it and say, I don't know what that is.
No, you tell me what you trying to explain what it is. I want to hear you.
You don't want to know what it is? You don't want to know?
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
No, but I'm asking you a question again. You're asking a question. I'm saying, don't you want to know what it is? You're just not interested.
I want you to tell me what it is. That's what I want.
He can't.
Would you believe me if I told you? Would you believe me if I told you?
I don't believe nothing.
Try him.
Yeah, see, exactly. See, he just said he don't believe
I want to know. So if you tell me, I'll know.
Yeah. Gotcha. I think you know what they are. You just don't believe them already. I think you're being dishonest.
Tell me what it is, Rob. Why are you talking in circles?
Well, because you're being dishonest to start with. This isn't how you have a conversation.
Because I don't. Can I say I don't know? I want you to tell me. That's being dishonest.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Because you know damn well what they are. So you're being dishonest right now.
Why won't you tell me?
You trust me, bro. You're not faster than me, bro.
You taking forever to tell me what it is.
I'm from the fucking hood, dude. You ain't gonna get me, dude. So your little shit is not gonna work.
When are you gonna tell me what it is?
The moment that you admit that you already know the answer.
He don't know.
Let's say it together at the same time. Let's say it together at the same time. Want to do it at the same time?
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, go.
Stars.
We did him like on Friday when Craig and Smokey was gonna lean up and Smokey tricked him, and we made you go by yourself, man.
Yeah. This shit was hilarious.
Nah, man, but I would keep it going, but I do gotta get out of here. I wish I could.
All that to say stars.
Salutes to y'all, man. I will be doing more of these for sure, and I'm gonna be arranging more debates over here and all that for the 2026. Appreciate y'all for the think tank. I'm gonna be taking notes from this. Bro. Much love.
I think you should start your own little debate league, Sanchez. That'll be dope, man.
I will, and I will host debates too. I'm gonna do that. I was thinking about that. I'm gonna do it. So
that'll
Rob
be dope.
Can be the first one of the Globe Earth debaters in it. You can be the OG for the Globe side. That's what we.
And I'm the team captain.
There we go. And you and Rob can be the first debate in the league. There we go. Hey, and I'll moderate it. But yeah,
that'll be fire. Appreciate you.
I got you. Hell yeah. Peace and love. We out. Shout out to Charlie Awakening Minds, all of y'all brothers. Rumham. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace and love. Shout out to the chat room, the mods, channel members, Patreons. Flat Power. We out.